Yo, what's good, people? No, you can't see me, but let me go ahead and drop the brand and let's get this started. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Feel good, man. Welcome to the membership channel. Welcome as a channel member. Thank you for joining. What's good, people? How y'all doing this fine Saturday? I just got in a little while ago. I went out for a crazy mountain bike ride. It was wild. I'm going to be talking about some stuff that people are getting upset about. I always seem to trigger the people. They always get upset, little whiny. This is why I know, and I'm going to say this. I say this with love. This is that tough love. This is going to be a tough love video for the ummah and the people who watch this. But I don't know else how to say it, man. I want to try and use the best language possible. I really do. But I'm not really sure how to say it without cussing. Let me find a way to say it without cussing. By the comment section and the way people get triggered by what I say, I can tell most of the ummah, most of the men in the ummah, y'all a bunch of wussies, man. Y'all a bunch of just lame, pathetic losers. Y'all are a bunch of, where does this like cam thing come from? This is one of these, bink, see how easy that is for me? They spend all this time going through all that work, trying to make these accounts, and then they just get blocked instantaneously. It don't even make sense to do it. It's crazy. So anyway, pathetic losers. Now, obviously, I'm generalizing. Obviously, you fine gentlemen who watch my channel the most, you guys, you are the top notch. You are the cream de la cream of masculine Muslims. Alhamdulillah. Y'all my dudes. But a lot of cats, they just out here like women looking for their outrage porn. And so what do? They come to my channel like a bunch of women looking for outrage porn. Abuamerican said, I'm going to call Abu Khadija. I'm going to call this one. I'm going to call. And it's like, shut up, you little wussy. You little wuss. You wuss. It's hard to respect it, guys. And don't take what I'm saying out of context, because context is everything. And I'm going to get into how context is important here in this particular talk. Context is everything. And so it's just a very pathetic behavior. And I see a lot of it from our brothers in Islam. Just sad, pathetic little dudes. And it's like you have no power. And then you think you're going to come here, drop some comment, and you like, what? You like that's going to do something? One guy said, Abuamerican, I'm going to unsubscribe. I'm like, dude, I never knew who you were. Who are you? I never heard of you before. Who are you? I go to his channel, look at his channel. He's not even a content creator. It's like, dude, you're nobody. Who cares if you're gone? If you were to die today, I wouldn't know. Nobody would call me and say Abuamerican, Abu Falan, the weirdo on the internet that you never heard of, he's dead. And I'd be like, dang, well, we eating tacos tonight or what? What's going on, baby? Who are you? Who are you? Think about that first, guys. Ask yourself, how many times have you seen Abuamerican? And I'm going to try and benefit you guys. I'm going to try and benefit you. I'm not just going to rant. I'm going to try and benefit you with my rant here. So I'm going to try and give you some benefit. How many times have you seen me go just randomly rant on people's channels? Now, if people come at me and they start commenting about me, I was on a show, or people are like attacking me and I show up, to see what's going on and I drop some smoke, that's a different story. I expect people to go around and, and when they're spoken about, to get in the mix with people. And that's what I do sometimes. Not often, but sometimes. But in general, yes. But in general, you don't see me out there just chasing on people on the internet. I don't know. You went around chasing people up for, start commenting, whatever else. I don't really do it. It's not really my thing. I'm trying to ask a question. I'm trying to learn something. I'm trying to make a point. I'm trying to contact someone to come on the show. Sure. But really, ask yourself how many times you see myself doing that. There's no reason for you guys to be doing that. I can't emphasize this much. Enough. Excuse me. Guys, stop wasting your time on the internet. There's nothing, when these people, they come to my channel for their outrage porn, I still benefit. We talked about monetization, halal, haram, whatever else. Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Junaid. Okay. Aside from that conversation, I still get like, you have to click on the video. I get paid. So I'm not wasting my time on the internet. You know what I'm saying? I'm teaching people stuff. I have brothers making dua for me. I'm saving marriages. Alhamdulillah. Families are making dua for me because I'm saving their families. I'm saving their marriages. Alhamdulillah. Yes. Well, who keeps a television? I mean, I have a television, but I don't use it. It's been off for like a month. I think it's been like a month. Who watches TV? I don't care about TV, dude. So anyway, hey, you know what? But it's nice. It would be nice if my TV was haunted, because have you ever seen how much money those YouTube channels with the ghosts and the jinns make? Dude, them dudes are making millions. I keep on saying I want to start like a ghost video channel. Bro, you talk about just printing your own money. Man, I hope so. I hope it's haunted. It make for good video. This Abuamerican is going to disappear. I'm going to come up with like Abu Haunted House or some stuff. And it's just going to be one of them spook channels. It's going to be awesome. The money will be epic. So anyway, let's get into something that I said. And I said what I said. So let's get into this. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to listen to what I said. Share screen. Blue, 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 blue. Chrome tab. No, I never did Ruqya. I always pound that off to Abu Bilal out of Maktab Salafiyah. I never tried Ruqya. I just stayed away from it. That takes specialized stuff and specialized people. So here we go. Let me just make sure this is displaying right. So this is me, obviously. Oh, wait. Sorry. I got to stop screen. Let me share again because I didn't share my audio. Share screen. Chrome tab. Oh, share audio. Boom. Share. So let's get into this. We're going to do the whole share audio thing. So listen to what I said here. This is what people are tying their underwear in a knot for. Doing stuff maliciously. Because I'm a human too. I got my giving him mercy, showing him mercy. And then at the end of all of this, paraphrasing the Hadith Messenger of Allah said, verily, that was Shaitan. Verily, person, your captor or your person, he's a liar, but he told you the truth. And he says that was the Shaitan. And he told him the truth. He told him something, that was from the Haqq. So now is he supposed to reject it, even though the Messenger of Allah, peace be upon him, told him that's something from the Haqq? Well, no, obviously not. So, sometimes I just think about doing stuff maliciously because I'm a human too. This is what I said. I got my faults also. And I'm just like, maybe I should just go around and just pick stuff from the book and the Sunnah that's like not very well known and highly controversial, just so people fall into disbelief. I mean, sometimes I'm on that like level of savage that I just want to do it, just so those people die upon disbelief and disbelief in their heart, because it's like, what are you rejecting here? Okay, don't like me, but the book and the Sunnah, what are we talking about here? And sometimes I just want to give them that double whammy so they meet Allah with that one, because that, guys, and when they talk about kibr in the Quran and the Sunnah, if you know the definition of kibr, then what is the definition of kibr given according to the Sunnah? It's loving falsehood and hating the truth. So let's get into this. Yeah, I said what I said. I said that. I said sometimes I want to do it. Did I say I'm going to do it? No. I said sometimes I want to. But do I do it? When has anybody seen me do this? I haven't done it. Sometimes I want to. You know why? Because I'm a human. I get mad. I get frustrated. I get irritated. I get angry for the sake of Allah. But do I do it? No. So first off is context. The context is I get mad sometimes because people behave a certain way when you give them dalil. And so I get angry for the sake of Allah. And I'm going to give the full context here. I'm going to give the full example of what I'm talking about here. But I get angry because I'm a human being. I'm like anybody else. And this is why I don't do dawah. This is why I stay away from dawah, because I don't have the patience for it. Because I have zero patience for a person. When you give them the book and the Sunnah, when you give them the Quran, when you give them an ayat, when you give them ijtima of the ulama, which I'm about to give you the example here. It's an ijtima of the ulama, which is based upon nothing but the book and the Sunnah. And you reject it. I have no patience for that. That's why I say go to Maktab Salafiyah, go to our brother Abu Khadija, go to our brother Abu Hakim, go to our brothers Hassan al-Somali, go to this brother, go to that brother, go to Abu Yad, go to our ulama. If you speak Arabic, go directly to our ulama, Sheikh Rabi, Sheikh Ubaid al-Jabri, go to our ulama, go to them. Don't come to Abuamerican. This is not my specialty field. I don't have patience for you people. And we're speaking generally. Maybe, my viewers, y'all understand how I talk now. Y'all understand my context. You understand that I'm not telling anybody anything haram. You guys know I'm not out here teaching anybody anything that's going to lead them into disbelief. Even though what I teach them would be the haqq, I'm not doing it. So I said, sometimes I want to do it. Do I do it? No, obviously not. But here's the context, guys. So a while back, I screwed up. I'm not gonna lie, I screwed up. It was a massive screw up. My wife dyed her hair, and in dyeing her hair, they use bleach, and this caused the hair to become dry and brittle. And so what happens is it tangles very easy. The hair tangles very quickly, very easy, and they need special shampoos and all sorts of stuff and conditioners to keep that stuff going. And she'll tell you, she's right here. I'm not buying female products. I'm not buying tampons. I'm not buying shampoos. I still don't buy the shampoo and conditioner. I just make sure she gets to it faster than before. After that one, that was awkward. But she wasn't mad about it. Were you mad about it?
No.
Are you mad about? Are you mad about it now?
I'm not mad, just sad.
Okay.
Because my hair, not because of you, because I lost my hair,
but your hair's back.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, man.
Yeah.
Just move on.
Yeah, exactly. Move on. So anyway, I didn't know it was that serious. I was like, yeah, we'll get you your conditioner. And she's like, don't go buy it. And you should see how much conditioner is inside the shower. I should take my camera in there and show you guys how much conditioner is in there right now. I don't know what's what. It's just like, why do you need like 15 bottles in the shower? I don't even know what all those bottles are. Are they for your hair? They're for her hair. I'm not going to the store trying to pick out them 15 bottles. I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing that. That's not Abuamerican. I'll take you to the store. You can buy your stuff and we'll go. So anyway, people made a big deal about it on Twitter. This is the context of all of that statement and everything like this. And so I was like, hey, you know what? People were like, oh, religious obligation to buy shampoo. And I was like, dude, it's not no religious. Someone actually said there's a religious obligation to buy your wife shampoo. I was like, dude, you're not even obligated to buy your wife medication. I said, if your wife gets sick, you're not obligated to pay for a medical treatment or pay for a medication. I said that, and it's true. The 4 imams agree on it. Scholars contemporarily and in the past, but all agree that it's not an obligation. Now they talk about what could be like, what's the word? What could be like the culture of the people to where it could become obligatory. But it said even in those cases, you can't say it's an obligation, but it is a sadaqah if he does it. Now, what's my position? Abuamerican's position is it's not a religious obligation to pay for your wife's medical treatment or expenses, medication, all that stuff, but you should absolutely do it. Absolutely. Why would you not do it? It's your wife. Why would you not do it? But it's not an obligation. And that comes from the book and the sunnah and all of the ulama, all 4 schools of thought, everybody, it's unanimous agreement. This is something that you won't find a disagreement on. There's no disagreement on this. Listen to me. There's no disagreement from amongst the ulama about this point. Zero. I made a whole video about it. I ordered a book, $50, 50 US dollars for one book. I made a video about it. Showed you guys the proof. Made a video about it. No Abuamerican flavor on it. I didn't take Abuamerican sauce and wipe it on top of there. There's none of my English on there. Straight from the book, straight from the mouths of the ulama, nothing else. And what happened? These people come back and they are viciously attacking what I'm saying. Viciously attacking what I'm saying. Not just attacking it, they are angry. I'm like, yo, this is our ulama. They've derived this from the book and the sunnah. Why are you viciously attacking this? So, context. Yeah, sometimes I want to say stuff like that just so you can dig your own grave. But I really don't need to do that. All I did was brought proof for my position and my statement. That's it. Nothing else. I made a statement. I said it's from the haqq. I said it's from the religion. I proved this from the haqq. I proved this from the religion. That's it. Nothing else. And some of you people lost your minds. Just outright rejection. Not even listening to the fact that it has nothing to do with what I said. It's everything that comes from knowledge. Ilm. That's what the context is, and so I just got mad for the sake of Allah. I don't care if you don't like me. I don't care. I really don't care. I'm not trying to marry you. I'm not trying to marry your sister, your mom, your aunt, or whatever else. Go die for all I care. I'm not going to know. I'm not going to care. I'll make dua for you. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi rajiun. Allah have mercy on that person. And you know what? I'm not going to think about you again. You're not one of my homies. I don't know your name. You're Abu Falan on the internet, some of you people. I'm not speaking about everybody because some of my homies that are here, y'all my homies. I recognize your names in the chats all the time. Hydro hose, man. Hydro hose, man. I'm just blocking you, dude. You just a weirdo. So anyway, Hydro hose is blocked. You just weird, man. I don't know what the heck you on. You on some funky. You can watch the show, but you can't comment no more. So anyway, sometimes, yeah, I get worked up. I'm a human being. you know, and nobody out there in the dunya, not one of you, can say that you haven't thought about committing a sin, but then didn't do it. That's the same situation with what I said. I said, sometimes I want to do it. Have I done it? No, obviously not. There's people out there, they struggle with some sort of sin. I don't know what it is. Some brothers talk to me. They say, oh, I'm addicted to porn. I'm sure there's a day out there he thinks about using it or whatever you call it, or it using him, however it's decided, and he decides not to do it. There's people out there, you think about committing a sin of some sort. Maybe I should take that loan for that house. Nah, I'm not going to do it.
There's a reward of that, though.
Yeah, and there's a reward for that. Absolutely. When you cancel something like is a bad intention. Blackbriar Tactical. What's good, man? Yeah, it was a beautiful Saturday for me. Alhamdulillah. I'll get into that later. But I'm just talking about some stuff right now. So you're actually rewarded for that. So now you mad at me for something that's actually praiseworthy, which shows how corrupted so many of you Muslims are. Let's just be honest. No matter what you think about me as Abuamerican, when you get mad at stuff like that, it shows your corruption. It doesn't show mine. It shows how bad, evil, wicked, and just far gone your heart is, and not mine. Because, yeah, I contemplated something evil. Sure, I did. Yeah, absolutely. It's not the first time. Let me tell you something. I've contemplated bodying people. I've literally planned it out, and I was like, you know what? I'm pretty sure I won't get caught. And I could have probably done it and not get caught. You know what I didn't do? I didn't body people. I'm a hunter. Trust me, I've seen enough blood and guts. It's not going to bother me, a human body. It's not much of a difference between the insides of an animal and a human. It wouldn't make a difference to me. But did I do it? No, obviously not.
That's the sweet of faith, iman, though.
Yeah. So, guys, when you get mad at me for Dalil, when you get mad at me because I say, you know what, sometimes I just don't like you people, and sometimes I want to harm you, but then I actually don't do it. Nah, I'm not going to do it. And I say that because that's basically the context of what I said in my speech down there. If you were just, but that's the problem. You people aren't just. That's the problem. You people who come here for your outrage porn, the people who come here for outrage porn, you are not just. And my brother, Anonymous Assassin here, mashallah, this brother right here, he said something that's very true. And I repeat it a lot now. He said, these people hate you more than they love the truth. Let that sink in. Many of you people hate me more than you love the truth. So maybe you should just avoid my channel. I've been doing this since I was at like 250 followers. Now I'm at 5,000 something. Don't follow me. You don't have to. I'll sit here and I'll talk to the clouds. I've been doing this since there was 200 people here. You don't have to watch my stuff. If you hate me that much that it causes you to reject the truth, that it causes you to reject the book and the sunnah, you really don't belong here. What are you doing here? Why are you harming yourself? Because now this is a matter of your iman. This is a matter of your heart. And if you think that doesn't leave a mark behind on your heart, when I say, hey, you know what? There's a statement here from the scholars to say this, and this. And he's like, yeah, he said, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, I didn't say it. That's from the book of the sunnah. I don't care about blah, 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 blah. Yak. Vomit out your evil illness of your heart into the public for the world to see. Because that's what's actually happening. That leaves something behind on your heart, not mine. I'll protect what I say. And a lot of people, mashallah, sometimes it's not even sometimes. They say something, say, hey, Abuamerican, this is problematic. You said this is problematic. You got this on your channel, it's problematic. You know what? I don't mind doing retractions. I did a retraction for that guy. I don't like his content. What's his name? That guy with the Q, Kawamoon. I don't really like his content or whatever else, but I was wrong about him. I made a video about it. I'm not above the truth. I'm not above, my ego. I can leave my ego at the door. I got nothing to prove to nobody. What I got to prove to somebody? I got multiple wives. I got, alhamdulillah, decent money and income. What am I trying to prove to you guys? I'm not like in high school. Yes. And this is the point. And you know what, Avid? You make a good point. Avid here makes a good point. He says, these haters will disappear as you grow as a channel. No, they won't disappear. They'll improve. They'll increase, actually. Because the bigger you are, the more they increase. They are simply trying to stop the roots from flourishing. Absolutely. I wrote about this in my book, Everything Your Mother Never Told You About Online Trolls. And actually, it's in my book about online trolls. And I talk about this, that all they do is they just attack more. They attack and they attack and attack, and they go, they just lose their minds when you do something that technically all the energy they expend in trolling could be done to create something, valuable. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's not a personal attack, but that's what I get from his videos. That's what I get. I get he's not happy. I get that he's not miserable. And some guy wanted to fight me because of it. Crazy people out there. Mentally ill. So yeah, I said what I said in that video. I said it. And I had a nice conversation with a brother last night about that. Alhamdulillah, he was talking about this, like, the hadith where the one companion used to lead Fajr and he would do long rakats, and the Messenger of Allah, peace be upon him, said, do you want to be a fitna, a trial for the people, because you prolong the salah, telling him to shorten the salah to make it easy on the people. And I try my best to be easy on the people, I keep things very simple, and that's why I stay away from issues of dawah, because most of the ummah, when you guys really study, you're going to find that the ummah isn't ready for a lot of the ilm out there. A lot of this ilm, it contradicts a lot of what they think. It doesn't contradict, excuse me, that's not the right statement. But no, it's right. It contradicts their culture. It contradicts their cultural upbringing, which they think is Islam, and the two are not the same. Oh, I grew up in a Muslim household, and therefore everything in my household is Islamic, and that's not right. Oh, I watched my mom and dad growing up praying everything. That means everything they taught me is correct. No, and I don't mean this as an insult, but your mom and dad are jahil. They didn't study. They grew up learning from their parents. They didn't take the time, unless your parents are people who are alims, or they're people who studied constantly and consistently. Generally, they're just people who grew up with Islam in the same way. And that's why every generation it gets a little bit more distorted. There's no talking. I'm just going on a rant right now, man. I can't do it. I can't do a repeat, man. I'm about to close it off right now and just go into some general stuff after this. I'm actually done with the topic. You'll have to watch the recap, inshallah. So, this ummah is anything but finished. We got a bunch of weirdos in the ummah as of late, but it's not finished. It's definitely far from finished, alhamdulillah. We got some weirdos in the ranks. So, guys, I say stuff. Yes, I'm a human, just like anybody else. You know what the difference is? And here's the thing between me and these detractors and these people who come here for their outrage porn. I'm not anonymous. I've walked down the street of London and people yell out the window of their cars, "Hey, Abuamerican!" I'm just like, "Oh, who are you?" I don't know who these people are. They're anonymous. And it's no accident that they're anonymous. Anytime you go to these detractors channels, do this. And I talked about this in my book also. Anything and everything your mother never told you about online trolls. Go and look at their channels. Go and look at their Twitter pages, whatever else. They're never content creators. They're never people who create anything. They're just at their core nasty, angry, frustrated, destructive people. Every time I find a destructive or angry comment, one of the things I do is I go to the channel, I just look. I don't waste a lot of time on it. I just go look. I don't comment, I don't follow, I don't subscribe, whatever else. I just take a look and I'm like, yeah, brand new account, no content, no nothing. You are in the fullest sense to the trolls out there. You're just a loser. And I feel for you. Because I've been telling you, specifically you loser types, to go do something with your life. Learn your religion. Get fit. Get money. Get married. Go do something with your life. But spending it on the internet, trying to troll people, wasting your time, your life, to the point that you almost put yourself into disbelief. I'm not sure that's it, man. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing. You can hate me all you want. But alhamdulillah, people making dua for me. A brother, alhamdulillah, you should have seen what he just did for me. He sent some stuff from the US. He paid a grip for express transport. I just said, hey, just send it. Let me know how much it is, and I'll send it to you. And then by accident, let me see how much it was. A whole bunch of money. May Allah reward that brother. He said, no, bro. He said, I love my wife. And when things were falling apart, she was calling the cops on him. She was hitting them. She was attacking him. Now, alhamdulillah, they're happy. I did one-to-one with this brother, tight, close for like an intense time. Alhamdulillah. He just paid for it. MashaAllah. It was not a small amount of money. He paid for express UPS that he gets here like today. I got like 11 people, and I'm not bragging, guys. Don't misunderstand me here. I'm not bragging, but I'm making a point. 11 people accepted Islam through Abuamerican. I don't even give dawah. So obviously I'm doing something right. If I'm helping people's marriages, I'm helping brothers get married. People are accepting Islam. I'm not even someone who's a da'i. What are you doing? You can hate me all you want, but I'm getting results for people. What are you doing? You're wasting your life. You're wasting your life. Who's out here making dua for you? Who's out here happy that you came across my channel and said some goofy stuff? Why are you wasting your life? I no longer, and I wish I would have done this when I was 20. Someone asked me the advice. He asked me in yesterday's show, what advice would you give your 20-year-old self? Don't do anything that doesn't have a benefit. Don't do anything that doesn't have a benefit. And I'll even make it selfish. Don't do anything that doesn't have a benefit to you. Because you know what? There's a benefit to me in Abuamerican. Yes. Someone said, "Oh, Abuamerican, you're taking the needy people and you're making profit about it." Yes, but at the same time, people are like getting something out of it too. It's a trade, you know. It's a trade. It's equity. So do that. Do something that benefits you. Trolling doesn't benefit you. Coming on people's videos, making stupid comments. It doesn't even have to be my channel. I'm talking about Kawamoon. I'm talking about Mahdi. I'm talking about that sister, the Nakabi sister that's really angry, arguing with everybody. The 3 Muslims, Daniel, Hakikatu. Anybody. I don't care who it is. Don't go there wasting your life. I don't care if you leave my channel. Well, I'm not going to comment on Abuamerican's videos anymore. Let me go over to Mahdi. Let me go over to Daniel. Let me go over to this one or that one. Don't do it. Don't do it. Mish Faidan. There's no benefit. There's no benefit. Stop doing it, guys. Please stop wasting your life. I can't express this. I have all my regrets are wasting my time. It's not marrying this girl. It's not marrying that girl. It's not this. It's not that. It's not I turned left when I should have turned right. None of those are my regrets in life. It's wasting my time. And I wasted my time. I remember, the one thing that makes me regret myself more than anything else, I remember when Ronda Rousey, the MMA fighter, when she first lost her first fight and she got knocked out. And I was on Facebook at that time. I was still using Facebook. And she got knocked out and I was making memes about her. I was making memes about Ronda Rousey. She's still a millionaire. And I'm not. What's the benefit? I still think about this today. I was like, what the heck was I thinking? I have no idea what I was thinking. She didn't see my memes. Even if she did, it wouldn't make a difference. She's still a millionaire. She's in movies. She's doing this. She's doing that. She's not wasting her time with stupid stuff like I was. Like just looking up pictures on the internet, of her in some funky, knocked out, jawed out position so that I could like put some clever comments on it. How much of an idiot was I? How stupid? How stupid is that? Think about that. I took time out of my life to go find pictures of her and then make memes and put them online. What kind of, I did it. What kind of special stupid is that? We all make mistakes, but I'm telling you right now, guys, stop doing that dumb stuff. Just stop, please. It's just, I just look at it and I'm just thinking, wow. I mean, I've been there. And so that's why I'm embarrassed for you when you come and you make your comments and your whatever else. I'm embarrassed for you. Oh, cringe. Phoenix Knight with a $10 super chat. Barakallahu feek, homie. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In order to be polygynous, should a man be an entrepreneur, STEM professional instead of, say, teacher, government employee, mid-class worker, jazakallah khair?
Everything.
Do what you're good at. Do what you're good at and charge premium for it. If you're a good teacher, make sure you're teaching at the best possible academy that you can for salary of teachers. And not only that, there's no mutual exclusivity here. So now you're a teacher. What's to stop you from being an entrepreneur? Because I was a teacher. I was an English teacher. I'm a qualified English teacher. Right? What am I doing now? I'm teaching people. That's just a small step away from what I was doing as a career. You see what I'm saying? So there's no way that you can't do two things at one time. I go to work full time. I still work full time, but then at the same time, I'm doing Abuamerican, right? So you could do both. So do everything that you can. You got a lot of time in your life. Don't waste it, use it appropriately, use it wisely, and you'll find that you have a lot of time to accomplish a lot of things, especially when it comes down to making money, and studying your religion, obviously. So, do it all, bro. Find what you're good at. Find what, if you can, find what you enjoy and find what you're good at and do that. A lot of times the two aren't connected, and it's not a necessity. Don't believe all that stuff. Follow your passion, blah, blah, blah. I got a passion for mountain biking. I was mountain biking today, guys. I love mountain biking, but my mountain biking days are over. I used to professionally mountain bike when I was in my 20s. My early to mid 20s, I was a professional mountain biker. A lot of people don't know that. I did it while I was working and studying, whatever else. I love mountain biking. Went for like 32-kilometer ride today. Was it 32? No, it was a short ride. It was 22. 32 was 2 days ago. 22-kilometer ride today. It was amazing, dude. It was amazing. It was an amazing ride. I actually have a bike review on my electric mountain bike. I should upload it. Anyway, that is my passion. Is that ever going to pay me? No. At 48? No, it's not. It's not. Not unless I can find a way to get, like, do reviews for mountain bikes, companies or whatever else. But there's bigger channels that could do stuff like that. It's not going to be following my passion. Drones, I make some money with it, but it's a passion. But, don't follow your passion. Follow what makes the money. Follow what you can do well, and what makes you money. And then go into an entrepreneurial side of the game with that. I hope that answered your question. How to manage time between ibadah, work, relaxation, barakallahu feek. Okay, so I can only give you an example from my jahiliyyah. I know this is going to sound crazy, but this is the best example I have. When I was young, when I was like, I'd say about from 16 till up until I became Muslim, I used to go to the clubs in Germany. Because, being a black man in Germany, you're the flavor of the week. The women love you. So you went where the women were, which was the clubs. Thursdays were always ladies' night. Friday was a work day, right? So Thursday to Sunday, basically Saturday to Sunday, we're counting those as 1 days. I would just be out partying. I would party like just crazy. I'd go to work, then I would, or it would be school. I'd go to the clubs on Thursday, go to work, school on Friday, do the same thing, go to the clubs on Friday, then Saturday I go to the clubs, Sunday I'd get like a little bit of rest, and then I'd rinse and repeat. What's my point here with this? My point is, when you want something really bad, you'll find the energy and the time to make it happen. I try. It doesn't work anymore. This is why you young guys, it's very important to take advantage of your youth right now. I try to find that same mentality and energy right now like I had when I was in my early, teens, or my late teens to my early 20s with clubbing. I'm like, okay, I had the energy to do that. Why don't I have the energy to do this now? And just, after a while, you just you do lose the energy to do stuff when you get older. Discipline fixes that. We talked about motivation with another guy on another channel. This is where discipline comes into place, where motivation fails you. So you just got to have that mentality, that drive, like, this is something I want, and you will find the time to make everything happen. With relaxation, you'd be surprised how much time your body doesn't need to relax. What you do need is mental relaxation. So I guess I understand your point. So let's separate the two. Physical relaxation and mental relaxation are two different things in my humble estimation. And what you need as a man is mental relaxation, because I don't know about you guys, but me, my wheels are always turning. And there comes a point where it's just like, I'm just like, yo, my head needs to turn off. And that's now what I use my mountain biking for, the bag time. I haven't been on my bag lately, but, I use that because it's like, once I start striking the bag, some little kid want to run up in between me and the bag and whatever else. So, I go riding, because I got these kids here and everything. Not that I'm complaining. Alhamdulillah, I got kids, but if I want to really clear my mind and just have nothing in it, so that my mind can relax, then I try and combine two things. So my fitness and my mind clearing, they go together. So I put those two together. And I hope that helps. You can combine certain things, So, yeah. I'm just going down through some stuff. So anyway, I'm trying to just check to see if anybody had some questions or whatever else. I haven't watched this latest video. No, I haven't. I tell you guys all the time, I don't have a lot of time to consume other people's content. I really don't. I wish I did. Sometimes I can play stuff, I can watch it here and there, but I don't have a lot of time to consume a lot of different content from different people, unfortunately. Yeah, you said it right here, bro. So forget about issues like, the wife tying your shoes. A lot of them aren't even ready for Tawheed. This is a fact, man. This is true. It's true. So anyway, yeah, guys, I want to get into some. I got some reviews and whatnot. I need to post on the channel. I got this new mountain bike. Man, that thing is fun. I'm mountain biking. Mohammed Hijab and Jordan Peterson. Apparently, it didn't happen. I think I would have taken the time to watch that just to see what's going on. I'm not really a fan of Muhammad Hijab. I don't make it a secret, because of the Aqidah Manhaj issues, but it is what it is. It didn't happen, and I don't think Muhammad Hijab is the right guy for that anyway. And Jordan Peterson isn't really. I don't know why people are so interested in Jordan Peterson as Muslims. It's like, what does he have to tell us about our religion? Well, Muhammad was a warlord. Blah blah blah. I heard like 5 minutes of this clip talking about, the messenger of Allah, peace be upon him, and Jesus. This dude don't even know about his own religion. What is he going to talk to us about our religion for? You see what I'm saying? Okay, he's a big name. He's famous. He's got something, spicy to say about Muslims and Islam. Well, welcome to the club, homie. Is this new for us? This ain't new. So I'm not even really interested in Jordan Peterson in that sense. It's like, dude, shut up, man. Go learn your own religion. Tell me the fundamentals of your own religion. Well, do you even know them? The dude can't tell you about his religion. Now he's gonna come over here to our side of the fence and start talking to us about Islam and Muslims. We can't even get Muslims to understand our religion. We be giving Muslims the dalil, Quran and Sunnah. The Abuamerican said it. I hate it. Wait, I just said I gave you the Quran and Sunnah. We got Muslims here that don't even understand our own religion. Now we gonna start listening to this guy? Who's this guy, Jordan Peterson? Yeah, Jordan Peterson. Screw that dude. Screw that dude. If he's not accepting dawah, screw that dude. Jordan Peterson can go eat a bag of phalluses. He can go kick rocks. That's what Jordan Peterson can do. It's Jordan Peterson. Okay, nice. You know what? Stay in your specialty field. This is a moment where guys need to stay in their lane. Jordan Peterson needs to stay in his lane. I stay in my lane. I don't go into the dawah zone. I don't mess with dawah. I stay in my lane. My lane is relationships and just general stuff in life, right? I stay in my lane. Guys, y'all 100% can testify on my behalf that Abuamerican stays in his lane. Jordan Peterson, what the heck you doing talking about Islam? I don't go over there and start talking about psychology and stuff and get all into what are you talking about? Shut up. Someone go throw a rock at that guy. Hopefully he lands in his throat. Jordan Peterson in Islam. What did he study somewhere? Did he go to Al Azhar? Was he in Medina University? I'm sorry. I'm incredulous. Why are we even interested in this guy? He makes some nice observations of the craziness of the Western world, the problems that men face and whatever else. But that's his lane. And that's why it's interesting. When now he starts coming over here, start talking about Islam, dude, you really letting this fame thing go to your head. Now you just an expert on everything. Next thing you know, we're going to start listening to you about what a woman goes through in the third trimester of pregnancy. You're going to start telling us about that too? No? Oh, you're not a woman? No? Okay, well, shut up. Oh, you're not a Muslim? No? Oh, okay, stop telling us about Islam. Shut up. Whew. They're just weird stuff, man. Sometimes I'm like, yo, what are we talking about here? You know what I mean? It's like this guy is just, sometimes it bothers me. Yes, he needs to stick to his lane. He needs to stay in his lane and shut up. Just shut up, Jordan. Someone tell Jordan Peterson, Abuamerican, say shut up. Okay? Good, stay in your lane. Don't tell him I said shut up. Tell him I said stay in your lane, buddy. Yeah. So anyway, what was I talking about? It slipped my mind. Oh yeah. The bike riding. I'm sure it's quite boring for you guys, but man, that was fun. Jordan Peterson is famous mainly around psychology, free speech advocacy, and gender issues. Mohammed Hijab is trying to kill the straw man red pill. Hey, there you go. It's all likes and this French politician. I forget her name now. She was a French politician. She said, if you want to get elected in politics in Europe, this is what she said. I have to try and find her statement. She said, talk bad about Islam and you'll get elected. So Muhammad Hijab is trying to kill the red pill straw man. Jordan Peterson is trying to just jump on the whole, get fame through attacking Islam bandwagon. Everybody's just, remember what I said, this whole red pill thing. And so, everybody's obsession with it is just about likes and views and whatever else. Jordan Peterson's doing things from his side of the fence. Muhammad's doing his thing from his side of the fence. Everybody's just trying to get that, that YouTube ad revenue, man. That's what it's all about. Let's just be real. That's what it's all about. It's about the money. Follow the money. Okay. Even I'm not here for free. So, but it's kind of different. I'm not saying I'm better. I'm like, oh, Abuamerican, you're so much better. No, I'm not lying. I'm here for them. I'm here. I do this. If there was no money, I probably wouldn't do it. But I'm just apparently naturally spicy. I just apparently get under people's skin and make them all worked up no matter what. I don't have to, go chasing famous topics and people and whatever else for that to happen, apparently. So, yeah. I think it's because Jordan Peterson has been pandering to Islamophobe by putting people such as Ayan History on and the massive following of non-Muslims he has. Yeah, it's all about likes. It's all about like views. It's all about like just, here's the thing. Numbers equate to money. Because you have to look at like anything in online sales or businesses and all this stuff from YouTube to all this stuff, guys. It's really, you have to pay attention. It's all sales. It really is. It's all sales. This is a business. Understand that YouTube is a business. These big, massive channels, they have entire teams behind them. They got this, that, the other. Even I did. When my wife became my channel manager, I saw a significant improvement in my numbers simply because the intros and the outros, the thumbnails, that stuff makes a difference. So even you have to come into YouTube with a business mentality. It is a business, guys. Let there be no question about it. It's just like, now, how far are you going to go to actually get likes? How far are you actually going to go to get like subscribers and whatever else and this and that, whatever? That's the question. And so these guys, they're pandering to the crowds. And so let me come back to the point I was making. So when we look at business and you look at online business, peep game here, guys, I'm teaching some stuff. We want to look at massive numbers. So there's a reason why people want followers, because followers, they are potential customers. Now, when we look at potential customers, we want a standard conversion rate from viewer to customer at around 3%. That is like, you have a 3% conversion rate where 3% of your viewers become customers. Dude, you are minting your own money. And so the more people you have, obviously, the greater number that 3% is. The greater chances are that one of those new people are going to become a customer. So when you watch YouTube videos from the Muslims to the non-Muslims, this is all a business. There's a reason why some channels have me on and they never have me on again. Why? Because it doesn't bring in views. It brings in a lot of negativity. It doesn't bring in the numbers. It actually might reduce numbers. They're not worried about like teaching people stuff. They're not worried about bringing people certain information and truths. They're worried about the numbers. And this is why some channels have people on one time and then they never have them on again. Even though the vibe was good, the information was good, the synergy was good, the topics were good, everything was clean, a lot of information was transferred and taught. It's the numbers. It's the money. So now when Jordan Peterson is out here doing this stuff attacking Muslims, obviously there's a very big sector of people out there who don't like Muslims. So now he's going to push his books. He's going to push his this. He's going to push his services. He wants a 3% conversion rate. 3% of 100,000 followers, pretty good. 3% of 100 million followers or 10 million followers. Dude, you're in retirement. So this is the drive behind numbers. This is the drive of like follow and subscribe and da 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 da. It's all about the numbers, guys. And those numbers equals money. Pay attention, peep game. Shukran Barakallah Feet, man. Thank you, man. John, my man. John in the house. That's good, man. So peep game with these guys, man. That's what they're looking for. They're not trying to teach you stuff. There are guys out there, absolutely. I'm gonna call myself one of them. And guys, listen to me. I'm not gonna sit here and blow smoke up my own rear. I'm not doing it. Even I want conversion rates. I want conversion. I want to sell my betting guide. But I do want to help you. Because now what you're paying for are my efforts. Do I want to sell the books? Absolutely. I want to sell them. But I also want to get paid for my effort. That took a long time to write. That wasn't easy either. I had to sit down, really focus, kids running around, going crazy, screaming, whatever else. All the stress involved. I got into like financial arguments with people over this whole thing. 100% I want to get paid. Absolutely. I make it no secret, But like, again, here we go. To what extent? Everybody can see. I'm more than happy to make people angry and they disappear. I told this guy today, he was like, oh, Abuamerican unfollowed. I'm like, goodbye. I ain't gonna miss you. I'm like, who are you? Who are you? You're a random name on the internet. You're like Mr. Dabalina. I'm like, who are you, guy? I don't even know who he is. But at what cost do I want to sell? I'm not going to sell my soul. Oh, I thought I lost signal. There's guys out there, they put in massive hard work, and rightfully, they need to be paid for that. Rightfully. Example, not a lot of Muslims are out there doing a lot of stuff right now. So I'm going to use some non-Muslim examples. Rollo Tomasi, he wrote all those books. Is it 3? No, 4 books. The 4 Rational Male books. Now the latest one is the religion book. He deserves to be remunerated, paid for his work. He did the work. So now when sales come in, or we expect sales, it's acceptable. You've done the work, You got guys. Good example right here in the chat. My man John right here. He did the work. He's gone out. He's changed guys' lives. We have our different principles because we're Muslims, whatever else. But whether you agree or disagree, the man did the work, and he's literally changed people's lives, from crypto to how they deal with women, whatever else. He did the work. So you deserve to be remunerated for it. But you don't find him out here making a hack job show, trying to chase a drama show in order to make sales. And guys like Jordan Peterson are doing this, Guys like Muhammad Hijab are doing this. Why does Muhammad Hijab care about like red pill or whatever else? Why does he care? I talked about it. It's like 3 Muslims on the internet, probably, if you count Daniel, 4 Muslims are talking about red pill of all the Muslims online. In terms of it's a constant, consistent thing. And I don't count Daniel for amongst those people. He's far too analytical. He's far too logical. He's far too, he's just too brainiac. He doesn't need to talk about it like that. So I say there's 3 people, but let's throw him in there. 4 Muslims online. The whole of Muslim Twitter, Muslim YouTube, whatever else is carrying on about red pill now all of a sudden. Why? Don't think your brothers and sisters are above being, victims to the dunya and what it calls to. The dunya is a vicious thing, and it has its demands, and its demand is get paid. So, okay, I don't blame people for getting paid, but it's like, what are you gonna do in order to get paid? You gonna again, like the brother said, put up, false straw men or whatnot in order to get paid? Is that what you're going to do, really? And you're going to do it at the expense of our brothers and sisters. Now you start dragging stuff into their screens and into their lives that really doesn't affect the ummah to the point that you need to make it a big topic and discuss it. And really, red pill isn't something that's like it's not a topic. And I covered why it's not a topic amongst the Muslims. I've had this show before. There's no red pill Muslims talking about going out doing anything haram. Not a single one. There's no Muslim out there who follows red pill is saying, go do haram. Go out and do this. Go out and do that. Go out and just, fornicate with all the women. You just don't find the Muslim red pill spirit doing this. You don't see it. So that these guys are taking the time to actually go out here and attack this. You have to wonder why. Follow the money. Yes, it does. It comes from a poverty mindset, and it's true. It is a scarcity mindset. Guys are out here. Yeah, I don't encourage anybody to do anything haram. A matter of fact, I predicate everything is like in a halal relationship. I always say this before stuff because I understand how people like to twist my words and like how to misconstrue what I say. Like this earlier video that I talked about earlier, that started off with this show. People like to twist what I say. And so, hold up, John. I'm gonna send you a link, man. Hold on, John. I'm gonna send you. Anybody wants to come on, let me know. But you got to have your camera up and your mic on. If you come on the show, I'll let you on. But you got to have your camera up. John can come on. Here you go. So this is the link. Anybody want to come on the show? Your camera has to be on. Your mic has to be on, and I'll let you on. So if you're not willing to go on air, don't follow that StreamYard link in the comment section. But if you're willing to go on air and talk it out, whatever else, let me know what you think. Just come on and say hi or whatever else. Don't be goofy. Don't come on and be goofy. Then there's a StreamYard link. It's in the chat right here. You can. This is your claim to fame. Come be your 5 minutes of fame. My man Siraj Butt says, I came more close to Islam after learning red pill. Mashallah, man, that's good. That's good. Alhamdulillah. You know, I say it all the time. It seems like sometimes you look at red pill and it's like, someone's over there taking notes from Islam. Like, we're gonna call this red pill though. Hold on. The Muslims over there. What are they doing over there? What? What? Look at the hey, come here. Look what the Muslims doing, man. Look what the Muslims doing. I swear sometimes it was like that, and then they just called it red pill, Hey, it's Rosh, man. What's good, bro?
Hey man, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah. You're crystal clear. You're crisp, my man.
Oh my God! For the first time in my life, man, my mic is working, my internet is working. All right, man. Listen, I'm actually a really big fan, man. I'm a really big fan.
Oh, nice.
Because of you guys, I learned basically that the Sahaba used to, wrestle in the mosque. They were masculine. They were just like this. So basically, we've had this idea of masculinity just from the non-Muslim side, from Roll Tamasi and all these people that every now and then, praise Islam. And then, and I'm very astounded that some of the Muslim people that I really respect, have actually spoken against these things. I mean, they should be praising these things. It's like a random video on the internet that you find every day. Like there's a non-Muslim who's praising the Muslims for something that's very random. It's just, I mean, calling it the red pill is obviously calling it the bananas and everything. It's like it's cartoonish, bro. We shouldn't even be calling it that. I was just, I mean, I really respect everyone, bro, but I mean, it was just, man. I mean, it shouldn't even be a debate, bro. It shouldn't even be a debate, bro. I mean, I was just Abuamerican, man. I'm a really big fan, bro. There's just so much to say, bro. I mean, anything's like, there's just so much to say, man. I'm a really big fan, man. I just want to say this. Okay, man. Good luck. Okay.
All right, bro. See you.
Good luck.
And thanks.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Libre software extremist. Okay. All right. That's a new one.
It's me, Shakil. I'm just.
Okay. What's good, man? You look different, bro. What happened?
Yeah, I just feel like a.
Okay. What's up, John?
Hey man, just got done with Rule Zero. Like as soon as you said come on, I shut down my main computer, but I hopped on my laptop.
Well,
but just want to support. I do what you're saying is spot on too, because it's the how can I put this? Like people are just lost, bro. Even Jordan Peterson, right? Because
dude,
they have such like a. Well, I mean, all I got to say is look at his daughter.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say. I know I'm not trying to say anything about your family, Abu, but I guarantee I put money that none of your daughters are doing anything like that.
No, sir.
And
my kids on the internet, man.
It's
let alone
I know it's from the Bible, right? But what does it say? You shall know them by their fruit.
There you go.
And it's true, man.
That's a pretty poignant statement. I forgot about that too. It's like I'm not sure why guys are really concerned about Jordan Peterson in that sense. Also, I mean, the guy obviously has some sort of, I don't know if it's a substance abuse issue, but he he obviously had psychological issues to where he had to be put into care. We don't want to begrudge the man for that, but
yeah, because his wife was on cancer. He got addicted to anxiety pills like Xanax and stuff.
There you go.
But I just feel, I mean, who knows? But the thing is, I think just even people like him, they have that poverty mindset, that scarcity mindset. Like people don't realize that. I guess because he's older, but there's literally enough money and clients on the internet in everybody to get all the money they want.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? You deal with like larger numbers than I do. I've been trying to tell these guys, the trolls and whatever else, I've been trying to tell these guys, stop wasting your life. Put all that energy you're using into trolling, jumping from channel to channel, trolling, making different accounts, this, that, the other, and do something with that energy. What's your advice to guys like that? Because I'm like, it's going to come 10, 20 years down the road, and you're going to be good at something that's not marketable. It has unless they work for China, being on their what do you call it? They got those online troops to, influence, opinion, but
50
really,
Cent
I don't
Army.
think they're going to do that. Yeah.
Well, so, I mean, the only piece of advice that I have for that situation in general is one time I was, talking to my mom about things when I was younger, and I was just like, Mom, there's just like this, this guy, he's just such an idiot. This guy over here, he's such an idiot. Like, why are these people, why are these people doing what they do? And she said, Son, the world needs ditch diggers too, you know? And some people are just, I'm grateful for losers like that. I love the trolls because that's just one less person I have to compete with in the real world, you know?
Ooh,
Think about
that's
that.
deep.
If
That's
you're on
deep.
your own purpose and these people want to make troll accounts and all that, like you can do that, but at the end of the day, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep on winning because if you see somebody winning, their past habit is also winning and their future is most likely going to be winning as well. So I know I'm going to keep winning even if I get derailed here or there, and losers are going to lose. Like Baldwin said, in Glengarry Ross in that famous sales scene, he says, what the biggest favor I could tell you to do? Fire these guys because a loser's a loser. If you're a loser and you know you're a loser and you tell yourself, damn it, I don't want to be a loser anymore, I want to make a change, and you work on it, you'll make a change. But if you're just a loser stuck in that default set, I mean, I love it. I love seeing people ruin their lives. I know it's kind of cynical, but it's like, you know, because I used to be the nice guy, like trying to help everybody, doing free consultations, trying to help. And what that does, and it's going to sound cynical, but all that does is get you a knife in the back,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, absolutely, man.
I mean, it
I
killed
told this to a lot
Jesus.
of. Mm.
You know?
I told a lot of people, it's like, this is why I have a paywall. This is why I have premium services. It like filters out
Yeah.
the losers and time wasters. They have spent so much of their time wasting their time that they don't have the ability to pay for my services. And so it's like, if you can't benefit your time, how are you going to benefit mine? How am I going to benefit you anymore? You can't help yourself. And one of the things with one-to-one consultations, this for everybody, I mean, John knows this. It's like, you have to be a person who has that self-actualization, like drive inside of you already. What happens is you have that self-drive, you have that self-actualization, but you hit a wall and you're not really sure, okay, now I can't get past this wall, but I'm pushing. And that's where coaching and whatnot and one-to-one consultations come in. We help guys get over that boundary. They understand there's a problem. They understand they can't get past it, but they have the will and the drive to actually make things work for themselves in life. So I'm gonna mute your mic, Shaq. It's like a bunch of noise. So I don't want guys that are losers, guys who are like, trying to go cheap. And it's like, okay, you want me to help you, and now you like give me a discount. I'm like, you want to go cheap on yourself. Because if you pay me cheap, I'm going to give you cheap services. So these are the type of things that guys need to understand when they go into online business and dealing with like people online and whatnot and all that type of stuff, and why there are paywalls and premium services. Yes, we do make a profit, and yes, I do want that profit also. That is in there also. But one of the things that I should have done earlier was go premium earlier. Because it gave me my life back when I was doing this thing for free. Because I was doing it for free, bro. I used to be doing one-to-one consultations for free.
Me
I
too.
didn't have a life. And people would constantly be coming back to me asking me, oh, but blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, I gave you advice. Why didn't you follow it? Well, this guy said, I don't get that anymore. Now when someone pays 250 euros, for an hour worth of time, he's like, okay, I'm going to follow this advice letter for letter, And if it goes wrong, and he trashes me online, then rightfully so. Then I gave him bad advice, and it's fair play. Okay. But it hasn't happened to this day. So, yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah. You got a great channel, man. I love watching. This is just as a man looking to learn from a man who has a lot of wisdom. I think,
Thanks, man.
you're super slept on. A lot of wisdom. And the best thing I like about you, I just want to endorse you that I'm going to go. But the best thing I like, because I really hate all the pseudo masculine bull crap that we have to deal with. Like, I'm alpha. I never get my heart broken. I never cheat on my diet. I always wake up with a full erection. I take ice cold showers. I never premature ejaculate. Every woman loves me. I dump every woman. I'm the best ever. And you out there, you're a loser. So sign up for my course. It's like, I hate that because it's such terrible advice.
Yeah.
And I like to keep it real with my audience and to like, yeah, guys, like, I'm going bald in the right here, and it's messing my head. And just yeah, not throwing shade or anything, just just my personal issues. Like, Yeah, sometimes I'm getting some cooch that's so good. I'm just like done. I'm like, oh well, just give me a couple minutes. I'll be back for round two. But just keeping it real and and I think by keeping it real is a form of compassion, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Because instead of speaking down to them and you're bad and you're not good enough and this is what that doesn't help people. Like you gotta, if we're gonna be coaches of men, we have to elevate. And after every conversation I have with Abu privately, because we talk on WhatsApp
Yes,
pretty much on a weekly basis, I feel elevated after our conversations. I feel lifted up. I feel like empowered, and not like a fake, like I'm an empowered woman kind of way, but like a real, like, wow, he's given me perspective and he's given me wisdom and he's giving me actionable steps that I can apply to make my life better. And I'm a man who lives in Tokyo, and I'm just a man on the other side of the world, but the truth is in the advice, and it does work. So I just want to say, you're the man, bro. Appreciate everything.
Thanks, bro, man. It's much appreciated, man. But I be learning from you, man. So I feel the same way. I learned from you, dude. I learned a whole ton from you, man. It's like you kind of changed my life, man. You changed my life, especially when it comes down to like online sales and marketing. Remember, actually, you were like the first person, even before I spoke because I spoke to Andrew Tate. Even before I spoke to him, I spoke to you about online marketing, getting things together, getting things right. Getting my money right online. You were the first person I talked to, and you were the first person who inspired me to actually do that, bro. Yeah. I mean, that changed my life. I can't tell you, bro, how it changed my life, man.
Thank you.
Night and day.
Assalamu alaikum. How you doing, guys? John, nice to meet you again.
Yeah, good to see you. I'm going to go to bed.
John, before you go.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and announce it now because we have every single speaker confirmed. So you guys heard it here first. Rollo Tomasi, Rich Cooper, Daniel Hakikatu, Mahdi Tajani, Coach Kareem, me, and I'd like you to show up too. We're going to talk about the gynocracy, red pill, Muslims, feminism, and how Muslims are handling it. We're going to have a massive, just all-star show. And I'd like you to show up too, bro. We haven't set a date, but all speakers have confirmed. So
yeah, let me know. I'm in.
Nice.
Great.
I'm out. You guys have a good one. Take care.
All right, you too, bro.
Take care. How you doing, guys? All is good?
Man, I'm good, bro. I'm good.
Alhamdulillah.
Keep going. But man,
who's this? How's everybody?
It's pretty good. What's good, Paul?
Alhamdulillah.
What's going on?
How you doing, Paul?
I'm all right. I'm all right. And you?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. What's that? You American, man? I'm trying to place that accent. It sounds like you got like an accent, but it's an American one.
Nah, I'm not American. I did live in the States though for quite a bit. So
that's why.
Yeah. I live in Europe. I live in France.
Okay, you like we neighbors, man. I'm like 15 minutes from the French border, man.
Yeah. I heard that.
Not much longer. I'm going to Berlin. I'm moving to Berlin.
Yeah, man. Berlin is it's interesting.
The big city, huh?
It's crazy. I've been there before. That place is wild. I'm living on the outskirts, man. I ain't trying to live in the city though. So what's good, Paul, man? Tell me something.
So you know what? I was listening to you guys, and I was like, something didn't sound quite right about you guys criticizing Jordan Peterson. I guess maybe from an Islamic point of view, he said a few comments here and there that were like out of place. But like from a manosphere point of view, I think he's done a lot. Like he's put in work.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Yes, I'm speaking from an Islamic standpoint. His work in terms of helping men, the manosphere, Western society, whatever else, it's unarguable. But that's why I was saying he should stay in his lane, because that's definitely his lane. Now, when he starts talking about Islam and Muslims, he's out of his lane. I think he just needs to like slow down there. That's my opinion. He needs to slow down because that's not.
He already admitted that I'm ignorant about Islam. He said it by himself. Yeah.
So my criticisms are based upon that. Muslims have a strong proclivity towards Islam. I don't know if you're Muslim. Are you Muslim, Paul?
No.
Okay, well, Muslims have a very strong proclivity towards Islam. We call it ghira, like a protective jealousy of Islam. We don't like people who come and trash on our religion, our prophets, whatever else. As you saw in France, some of them dudes, they're extremists, and they lost their mind when people started drawing pictures of the Messenger of Allah, peace be upon him. They lost their mind and they did stupid stuff, haram stuff. But Muslims, we don't like people messing with our religion. So yeah, I trashed him absolutely based upon him, saying stuff that's like, yo, buddy, slow down. I respect his work that he did for men, but it's like, yo, please stay there.
Yeah.
Jordan Peterson, what makes him special, you could say, quotation marks around the special, is his clinical work. He's really good at the psychology field, right? He studies, he actually reads research papers, he talks to people, he has students, etc., right? So he's engaging with the people on a personal level very closely. So yeah, he's a proper academic. He's an academic by the actual definition of the term, not like the typical so-called scientists you see, being put on the news channels every single day. They're not academics, right? He's really good at what he does because of his clinical work, and he can explain to you problems if he knows about them really well, and perhaps suggest solutions, which I don't think he does all the time. I don't think he puts himself as a person with solutions, but rather person to help you understand scenarios that people experience in life.
And I think those two debates, I have two debates in mind, the one on Channel 24 and the one with GQ magazine. I think those were like
the Kathy Newman one.
Yeah, the Kathy Newman one. Those are like
stupid
so representative, like that. Those two were like the stereotypical feminist, and he took him on with like calm, collected arguments. He kept counter arguing, and he was like the first one to be able to do that. Like I've never seen nobody else do that. Like to be able to like pick apart the feminist argument in such a manner that like it renders them like in a sense absurd, right? He made them look absurd and angry, and for what they are, like their true characters came out, like their true I want to dominate man characters came out, and we could see it because he stayed stoic while they were getting angry, right? So I don't know, man. It's to me like he's got a lot of merit, and he's done a lot just with those two. I haven't read a lot of his work. I saw some of his classes, which are very good. I would love to be a student.
Undeniable. The man has an exceptionally, sharp mind. He's one of those guys, nothing misses him, He's very analytical. He listens very closely to words, not only what words mean, but what they could possibly mean. I mean, the guy has a mental chessboard that is on the next level. Allah has definitely blessed him with something unique. But, and that said, I wouldn't want to debate the guy for no reason whatsoever. I wouldn't want to debate him. I would not want to debate him. I'm like, put on these gloves, let's fight, but I'm not debating you. So he just got that, he's got that special type of sharpness. But again, he like he said himself, he's kind of ignorant of Islam. And so it doesn't behoove him and his intellectual capacity to start entering into topics and fields which he has no knowledge of. It's unbefitting. You see what I'm saying? And so now it makes it easy. And I'm not, I don't want to blame him. I'm attacking him. That's my choice. But it makes it easy for people to attack him like we are doing now. And you open that door, and it's legit. Because now I can literally say, hey, stay in your lane. You're ignorant. You know what I mean? And so he knows better. He's smart enough to know better, in my humble estimation. So it's not really...
That was surprising Abuamerican, because like he usually answer, like for Jordan Peterson, I studied this guy. I listened for like over than 300 lecture for him in psychology. And he usually answer, I do not give an uneducated opinion.
Yeah.
But why you do it toward Islam? Because you said yourself that you are uneducated, you are ignorant. You did not read the Islamic. Look, the Islamic literature need 2 life of your lifespan to understand it. I even do not understand it, because we have tens of thousands of books from thousands of scholars during 14th century. So, of course, we are ignorant. But if you are ignorant in something, do not give uneducated opinion.
But
I have a lot of respect for Jordan Peterson. A lot, really. I learned a lot from him.
but like when he go out of the lane, I can recognize it. So you're saying something here not based on evidences. You're
So hold
getting out
on.
of your lane. Yeah.
So hold on. Are you guys talking specifically? Because I only have one comment in my where he said Muhammad was a warlord. Do you have any other
Yeah.
comments?
This one, look. Okay, let me give my comment on this. By what he meant to say, Muhammad was a warlord, because he explained it in the same speech. He said Jesus never led an army, and Prophet
Yeah.
Muhammad led army, like he involved in military like work. So by this meaning, the military commander, yeah, Prophet Muhammad led wars. He was military like leader, and Jesus Christ, no, as based on what we know, he never led an army. So by this meaning, he's right. But what people understand of warlord, there's a lot of like negative behavior associated with this word. So you have to be very careful using it. You got me? And he know better. He really know better.
He does. He's a smart man.
Yeah.
In this regard, I don't think he has an excuse in my humble estimation. That, I'm not saying anybody should do anything stupid or say anything stupid to the guy. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying it's like, yeah, come on, man. You're a smart guy. You really know better.
Well,
It's as Coach Kareem said, the people understand the term warlord to be something negative because they associate with it oppression and evil and harming the innocents. But I'm looking at the dictionary definition of Cambridge right now of warlord, and it says a military leader who controls a country, or more often an area within a country. Which,
Yes.
I don't know, was that the case back then? Did he lead a country or a group of people in an area inside a country, Coach Kareem? Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
Yes, people do not understand the word by the dictionary definition. They have an impression in their mind about it. They will never go back to Oxford or Cambridge to check what it does really means. I know what warlord is. And when I heard it like first time a few years ago, Muhammad was a warlord. I said, yeah, okay, that's right. And nothing pushed me, nothing like provoked me in that word. But like the general public in general, when they hear warlord, they think that he's ruling his people by force, by iron and force, So that's the impression of that specific word on people.
yeah, but hold on. Like you have to admit, even with that latest statement, that there would be some truth to that. From what I understand, by watching Daniel Hakikachu, there is force when you rule by the laws of God in Islam. You do use force, and especially if you
How?
if you go,
Can you give me example?
well,
Can I jump in real quick before you continue?
the types of punishments that you will have, the types of,
But let me ask you something, bro. Isn't
Yeah.
that the case in any country, even modern ones? I mean, the rule of law
yeah.
is enforced through
Mhm.
threat of law enforcement officers. In America, it's the most extreme in the Western world, as we know. We have more people imprisoned in the United States than the amount of people are in some foreign militaries. We have something in the tune of 31 million people incarcerated in the United States. I don't know how many are killed every year by law enforcement. So this is not really unique to Islam or Muslims.
Exactly.
There are rules, there are regulations, and if you break them, and if the infringement of a particular law is severe
Yeah, but
enough, they will
the
kill you.
this particularity about Islam is how they use violence to dissuade you. Does that, can I say that in English?
Yeah, but I mean,
Dissuade?
what's the death penalty? We have the death penalty. I'm from Texas. We have the death
Like,
penalty.
it's not any type of death penalty. It's like stoning in front of everybody. It's not
The
just
death penalty. We lethal inject. We do electrocution.
Yeah,
It's a public
but
viewing. You can go and view this.
yeah.
Paul, I'm going to pause you there for a second. I'll
Yeah.
tell you why. Again, you said force was used. So now when you say force was used by a military leader or a leader of a country, again,
Mhm.
people attach the meaning of negativity to it. Force
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
have to be negative or
I
harmful
agree.
or oppressive. Force is a tool. How a person uses a tool depends on the values they hold and what goals they have in mind, right? Now, as you said, you're correct. You said the terms or the phrase that Muhammad used force. Of course, he used force because as a military leader, you have to use force. But how did he use the force? That's the question. He used the force using the guidelines laid out by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who revealed to mankind by way of divine revelation how to use that force properly and justly to help people and to benefit.
Arbitrary.
It wasn't just random. It wasn't guesswork. He didn't feel like doing things. He didn't just decide one day, wake up, I'm just going to take over that land over there. He never operated like that. Everything he did, he said, he commanded with, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it all came from the one who created him and who chose him as a messenger. He followed those guidelines to achieve justice, even when he used force.
Let me give you an example from my life. So when my first children that I had were twins, and it took a lot of work to get them to be the children that I wanted to be. So the next child that was born was my daughter. So when my daughter came along, it was like no work because she had an example from the twins on how to behave and expectations of behavior. Now, when there's not that exists in this house, my two little ones that I have right now, they are just crazy because there's no previous example. But my sons knew. So on a micro level, we did this in the house. There was punishments and there was expectations of following particular rules. And if you didn't follow those rules, you were punished. And so now there's no, I don't have this anymore. You know, Bahrain, you're gonna have to bring your camera up if you want to be on the stream, bro. So now there's no previous expectation. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same thing, just on a societal level. In order to bring everybody into cohesion, and this is important, and this is one of the problems with Western society with this multiculturalism, that there's no social cohesion. And this is why we find countries like China, Russia, and the likes overtaking the West slowly, is because they have social cohesion. In Islam, what we had prior to Islam, you have to look at the conditions that the Messenger of Allah, peace be upon him, received revelation. He came to a people who were worshiping like, what is it, 300 and something different gods, you know? There was like just tribal warfare amongst one another. There was no cohesion. And so he came with one religion, one God, and it was his duty to bring all of those people into one steady path and cohesion. You see? And so punishment, obviously, there has to be a rule of law. And the rule of law for Muslims was, of course, Islam. And if you didn't follow those rules, there was consequences. That became societal norm, and it still is to this day.
Let me add for this. Do you know, like,
Sorry, guys.
You chose the very extreme like punishment type in Islam, which is stoning to death. Do you know how many? Do you know how many times, Paul, this happened in 1400 year?
Do you know I don't know. I guess not that many, because you have to have like 4 witnesses, and it's very hard to get. Right?
Yeah, less than 10 times. In the same time, when you read the history, you find that the white man in South America killed over than 50 million Native American. In the North America, they killed around 30 million. From the black people from Africa, they killed over than 25 million. Leopold himself killed the third of his country population.
You're equating things that don't have nothing to do. Like, you don't.
Hold a minute.
You're all over the place, man. That it's not the same thing. We're talking about like punishments and the rule of law. You're talking to me about like, conquest of other people and
but guys, could I just say one point?
Hold a minute. Let me finish.
Let me finish. One second. Let Muhammad go, and then let Paul make his point, and then Bahrain go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Guys, let me finish. I didn't finish yet.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
So, is it okay, like for the American to kill around 300,000 people in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, civilian innocent people? Nobody says anything about that. They killed 2 million civilian innocent people in Iraq. It is okay. They killed around 1 million in Afghanistan. It is okay. But if you have a punishment happen 4 times in 1400 years, oh, that's so terrible. That's terrible, really.
Paul, please go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was going to say that like we totally went off the initial conversation, I was trying to defend Jordan Peterson and saying, well, his statement actually wasn't that bad. And I was trying to get, that's how this conversation started. Like trying to say,
Okay.
well, you like hitting him up on the fact that, you know, he went into a depression and then went into like, you know, I found that was not a classy move. That's what I really wanted to get to. And then we got to a whole other
Okay, cool.
conversation.
Okay, Bahrain. So let me jump in there. This goes back to what I was saying. It's like, you know, it's unbefitting of him to speak on topics that he's ignorant of. And like I said, it's me. I'm not saying, and I said this before. You can view it back and watch it. I'm not saying it's okay, but it opens the door for that, because we as Muslims were very jealous of our religion in terms of like, you know, we're very protective of it. So yes, that was personal, you know, dealing with his statement.
But like, hold on. Isn't the Prophet supposed to teach you good manners and like, you know, having?
Oh, absolutely. But we're not angels.
Yeah, but it's not about being angels. It was a low blow.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, but
because you know what Allah says in the Quran, if I'm not mistaken, is it the Quran or is it Hadith where it said that, you know, verily, if you people didn't commit sins, like if humans didn't commit sins, he said, then I would destroy you all and replace you with people who did, so that when the day of judgment comes, you would know and understand what my mercy is. We're not supposed to be perfect. We're not expected.
It's a hadith, yeah. People's
I'm
importance
a
of
regular
repentance.
person. I say stuff out of anger. That, you know, Islam, and this is a big mistake that a lot of people think, Islam doesn't make us angels. Islam doesn't make us perfect. You know, it's not expected. We're expected to strive to be the best that we can. Absolutely. But nobody's expected of perfection. That's why forgiveness exists. If we were perfect, then we wouldn't need forgiveness. We wouldn't need to pray, maybe, possibly. I don't know. We're not perfect people. We're people.
If I could like have
So, Bahrain,
one
please,
point
yeah, go.
there. Yeah. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Paul, what's up? Just like a point on Islam and a point on the manosphere. I'll keep it as real short as I can. But when Jordan Peterson was talking about the Prophet Muhammad and some people compared him with Jesus, alayhi salam, it's a bit different because you would compare Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam in that context, in the war context and statehood, with Moses. So, for example, Moses had the Mosaic law, right? And Moses did invade other people with the tribes of Israel. They did stone, what do you call them? The blasphemy people, the idol worshippers. They did all of the stuff that you would see in Islam. And this is all in the Old Testament. You could read Deuteronomy, you can read many of these kings. And you have a New Testament where Jesus says, I have not come to abolish the laws of the prophet before me. I've come to fulfill them. So nearly everything you see in Islam, stoning, attacking polytheists, taking their lands, even the Bible goes to some extremes in the Old Testament. It's killing their children and their women, where Islam didn't kill their children and women. But that's you would rather compare the Prophet Muhammad in a war context to Musa alayhi salam or Moses, because Jesus did not go to war and did not build a state, did not build an army. Yeah, that's my point there. I have another point, a bit off topic, because I have to bounce if it's okay.
Yeah, sure,
It's a small observation. Is that and since Coach is here, Coach, كيف الحال حبيبي?
I'm good.
Hey,
Thank you.
and I do follow both the, let's say, the red pill content in the Arab world and in the West. So what you have, something that's very interesting, is that Daniel Hakikachu, he split up the red pill into like different people. When I was watching your live, Abuamerican, he was saying like there's red pill. Some red pill people are PUA, pickup artists. Some people are this and that.
Indeed.
Whereas you should have more, if you want to say quote unquote, red pill people that have statistics like Coach. You know what I mean? He's up here with the math, and math doesn't lie. You know what I mean? And that's very important in the West. You said like statistics is everything. American, you mentioned that all the school shooters are kids of single mothers.
Indeed.
It's 100%. Yeah, and it's khalas. You just drop the mic after that statistic. You know, where you should have more people. I think what Paul was saying, like we need to have more red pill or whatever you want to call it in the manosphere, but with stats. and that's something you're not seeing really in this sphere these days, as much as the Arab world. Whereas the Arab world are all about stats, mainly, and the red pill. So that's a point. And maybe coach has seen both worlds, so he could maybe mention that. It's barakallah fikum.
Thank you.
Shukran.
And that's my cue to leave.
Okay.
Barakallah fikum, guys. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks. Oh,
Rafika Barakum.
Says statistics can be abused really badly. Reference beer bug. Yeah, that's a good point. Also, they can be abused, obviously. So
Paul,
anyway,
if you want to read books, I have linked 2 books in the chat. You can read those books on Islam and violence and freedom and
shukran.
Yeah, I don't know how this conversation turned into like me berating Islam for its use of
I
violence.
get it. We get it.
All I was saying was like, well, Jordan Peterson's comments weren't that inaccurate if you think about it, and maybe they were like lazy. But to go on the low blow, that's I think we've been through it. Like you said, it was personal, and
no,
okay,
absolutely.
so fine, you're not
Self-terror
perfect,
wise.
so I guess we don't really have to. I don't really have like a negative opinion of Islam and its rules. I do have
Alhamdulillah.
when I see the rulers and the countries, that's something else, because I'm into geopolitics a lot. And I see what's happening, and it's like, wow, like
That's a whole new doorway, though.
Let's
give him the classic example. I got a good example for this on the rulers. So everybody likes to talk about Saddam Hussein. And what's that guy? Muammar Gaddafi. Now, Muammar Gaddafi, I had a special dislike for. Saddam Hussein, I didn't like, but it was what it is. Without him now, look at that place.
That's a mess in the Middle East.
Some people, some of the Arabs were saying, some of the Iraqis were saying, when I was watching interviews, and they said, why is everybody complaining about how harsh he is? He's like, if you're not harsh as a leader out here, you are dead. These people will kill you. He's like, this is not a place for weak rulers. You can't come around here just hully-wully, just like, hey, everybody's cool and vibing. You can't be that guy. It's not, it's not the West. And so what we're doing a lot of times is we're taking the Western context of government and politics, and we're trying to impose it in a part of the world where that entire concept will never work. It's completely foreign. It will not work. And that's not a discredit. That's not an insult to people or whatever else. It's just, I said something a long time ago. I haven't said it recently. Language affects culture, and culture affects the society, right? It actually follows that. These people speak a different language. They obviously have a different culture, cultural background, history, and so the society and its structure are completely different. I've lived out there. I lived in the Middle East over 11 years.
They're decent of warriors.
It's a different world. As an American, been to 48 countries, I can tell you it is night and day. And I don't mean it as an insult. Let me finish. I don't mean it as an insult. But when I walk around here and I see Syrians and whatnot walking around here, I don't mean it as an insult, but they don't belong here. They do not fit in Western culture. I'm looking at them like, dude, what are you doing, Ahmed? What are you doing? I'm looking at them like, yo, bro, you don't understand how crazy you look right now in Western society and European culture. You're in France. You probably have seen it yourself. And so it's I think it's a reversal thing. I've given up the idea of living amongst the Arabs. It's not that I have anything against Arabs. Absolutely, my brothers from amongst the Arabs, but living there is different because I don't understand the culture. I don't have a history with the people. Aila, Qabil, all this stuff, it makes a difference. And I don't have any of the context or the connection to that, nor the connection to the language as strong as I need to actually make it out there in a good way. So I've given up that idea.
But the funny thing on these 2 examples, and this is where like my area of interest really lies, and that's where I'm like, wow, the Arab world and especially the Muslim world is so messed up. Well, the ones who are supposed to let me rephrase that. The ones who are supposed to be representing the Muslims are so messed up. So, for example, the Saddam Hussein, like they gave the Grand Mufti of Saudi, no, not the Grand Mufti, but maybe somebody from the Kibar Ulama gave a fatwa for the Americans to come and be able to take out Saddam Hussein, right? Same thing for
more than anything else. So we have to understand that also.
Same thing for Muammar Gaddafi. It was the Arab League who asked the UN to take him out, and that's why Russia stood down. Like they had a UN resolution to like it was called the No-Fly Zone resolution.
Paul,
That's
Sorry.
It
very
was
mainstream
it was
understanding,
the
guys. That's
regarding
very
that,
mainstream understanding. They
Paul,
took them both because they
Let
refused
Coach go real
to
quick
deal
because I
with
do want to talk on
to
this.
deal with dollars, like to buy to sell their oil for dollar. They start using other coins, and it is forbidden from the United States to not use dollars. That's the main reason that they
yeah,
took them
but
off.
like if the
Paul,
Arab
regarding that,
leaders stood
just
together and defended them, they would have never been able to come in.
Like
They
Okay,
they
would
so
never
defended
be able to
around
come in.
25 country was attacking Saddam Hussein alone.
Yeah,
25 country.
how
so
many
Yeah,
of those were from Arab countries?
but
From their
none,
neighbors?
none,
No Saudi,
none,
none from Saudi Arabia.
not single soldier go from Arab country. Not
so
even
wait
single
one
one.
second. So this can be
Wait,
debated, but Shaq go, and then I got something to say in context there,
yeah,
and then we'll get back
regarding
to it.
that, you said that the Grand Mufti gave a fatwa of allowing the Americans to take it. It was because Saddam first attacked Kuwait, and because Saudi didn't have enough soldiers to like face Iraqis, so they allowed that. Okay, now since America is a friendly country, so let's let them come in and halt
it
the
is
invasion of
it
Iraq.
is now known to like the general public, and you can look it up. It's on WikiLeaks that Saddam Hussein asked the Americans if he could attack Kuwait, and they gave them the green light.
Yeah,
So
that is
so
correct.
so
I said that is
so
a different thing. That's not a Grand Mufti's fault.
yeah,
There
no,
was a
but
lot of
like
deception at play in here, but you can't blame the
yeah,
Arab League for that.
Yeah,
no, I'm just
America was
saying,
playing
like,
chess, and they played a
hold
very
on.
good game.
What I'm saying
Yeah,
clearly is that the Mufti of Saudi Arabia gave the enemies of Islam, well, some, and when you talk to most Muslims, they'll
Mhm.
agree that the American army are the enemies of Islam. Gave an enemy of Islam a
It's
fatwa to go take
debatable.
out another Islamic country. I
Okay,
mean,
no,
it's
no, no. It
always
wasn't an
debatable.
Islamic country. Iraq wasn't an
I
Islamic
got
country.
several
Or
points to make. So first off,
uh,
to say that the United States is an enemy of Muslim and Arab states, I'd say that's incorrect. The United States looks out for their strategic interests, and if you happen to share those with the United States, then they're friendly with you. And if you don't, your neighbor, who you might be friendly with, they're like, hey, screw those guys. We're cool with you, but we're not cool with them. So America's very, very strategic about their interests. The enemy of the Muslims, they don't supply enemies with weapons. The United States supplies Saudi Arabia, Jordan, UAE, almost all Bahrain, almost all of the Gulf countries with their weaponry. A matter of fact, UAE has it's the only country in the world other than Israel that has the F-16 Block 60. That is the most advanced F-16 fighter out right now. UAE is the only country outside of Israel that has that, right? Saudi Arabia, they have the most weaponry from the United States. They have the F-15s. They have the radar systems that actually can attack Israeli airplanes, because this is a big system. This is a big thing for a lot of Arab countries and whatnot. That we're able to defend ourselves from all opponents. Because you have the friendly fire systems, and some of them, a lot of the Arab countries realize, okay, our friendly fire systems, we can't attack Israeli planes, but they can attack us. You see, so all of that stuff. You see what I'm saying? The United States is supplying Arab countries with a lot of weaponry. Geopolitical relationships. There's a lot of money at play here. So it's not about friends or not friends. Whether we like to admit it or not, Muslim countries need the United States weaponry. They need it. There's nobody making more
Yeah,
advanced weapons out there. Not the Russians, not the Chinese, nobody else. If you want to protect yourself nowadays, you need American weaponry. That's a simple fact. So they have to cooperate with them if they want to protect themselves. That's the first point. Now, as for all this whole stuff with the Mufti and whatnot, there is some fact to that, what you're saying, but you have to remember, Saddam Hussein was a Ba'athist. Ba'athists are considered by the vast majority of the ulama, this includes that guy in Syria, Bashar, they're considered to be non-Muslim. They're considered to be disbelievers.
mhm.
Muammar Gaddafi was considered to be a disbeliever simply because he had something called the Red Book or the Green Book or something like this. He's
I
just
think he
like
rejected
outright,
hadith. He
yeah,
rejected hadith, I
he
think.
outright just was against Islam, period. So it was
Mhm.
easy, if that is correct. I can see why it'd be easy to just go ahead and throw him under the bus and say, like, hey, you know what? If you bomb that guy, that's all good. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah, but how many Muslims deaths are we talking about here with these
By who? Who killed them?
authorization? Yeah, but like the thing is, if they don't cooperate, they don't
Yeah.
get to go in there.
Who killed
So
these Muslims?
exactly, this is a good point right there.
Yeah.
that's fine. That's not what I'm saying is with the cooperation of who, and without that cooperation, it's not happening.
Not really. I mean, to tell me, let's be honest. If the United States didn't get the cooperation of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, any of those Gulf countries to attack Iraq, do you think that would have stopped them from doing it?
It would, like, you know what,
They don't need it. They have aircraft
for
carriers
example,
around the world.
It's, for example, I'll give you the typical example, for the Muammar Gaddafi case, that they went through a UN resolution, and Russia has a veto right on that UN resolution, and the fact that the Arab League didn't even support Muammar Gaddafi, they're like, okay, well, he doesn't have any friends, he's got to go.
But
done. He
outside of UN resolutions, the United States sent 2 F-111s to Libya, bombed his palace, tried to kill him, ended up killing his daughter, right? This is what happened. My dad worked on both of those F-111s. My dad was an ejection seat specialist. My dad worked on those planes. They bombed him. No resolution, no permission. They just went and bombed him and ended up killing his daughter. The United States does what they want to. Trust me, as a guy who served and worked with the United States military, when we want something, we're just going to do it. We're not going to ask anybody. It's cool if we can get like a high five from somebody, so that when we go in front of the UN, we could be like, hey, yeah, they was cool with that. But really, the United States has no problem being the bad guy and going it solo. Trust me.
Right. That's cool. But look, for example, in Syria, they wanted No, that's not what I meant. You're probably right, but look at what happened in Syria. They wanted Bashar out. He's still here and standing strong.
We're going too deep in politics, guys.
Yeah, we're going like
do not mix politics and religion. Do not mix.
Yeah, we're talking about geopolitics. I mean, well, he did say he likes geopolitics. We're talking geopolitics now. Paul said he liked geopolitics. We're talking geopolitics.
Especially
now. The United States has interests in the Middle East, and some of those interests are shared in terms of security of the Jewish state. And so what do? They take and they make moves that secure the Jewish state's interests. And so what do? They unilaterally destabilize most of the Middle East to secure the interests of the Jewish state. That's the United States solo. They didn't ask anybody.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is the Jewish state is allied today with Saudi Arabia, with the UAE, with
why wouldn't they
most of the Gulf countries? Well, because I don't know, man.
If you let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. If you are a minority in your neighborhood and everybody around you is strapped up, you got dudes with guns and weapons, they're nationalists, whatever else, but they're like, hey, you know what, Paul, you kind of cool over there, man. What's good, man? We got these weapons over here. I see you got your little arsenal over there, but homie, what's up? And you gonna be like, are you gonna make
can't beat them, join them?
Are you gonna make peace with your neighbors? Maybe not join them, but say, hey, let's
I'm sorry, but they should have an imperative based on their religion to fight them. Yes.
Yes,
based on what they believe.
Have peace treaties with the non-Muslims.
You're mixing. You're mixing religion with you're mixing religion with politics.
On that comment,
that's really fucked up.
Paul,
you know, you can't do that.
I'm sorry, but
Paul,
if there's one thing that I have learned from Islam is that that you can't separate politics from religion. That's the one thing that I am sure.
Let me collaborate on that.
That is the one thing.
Let me collaborate in that. You're mixing the rules of Islam that does not separate politics with the action of modern Muslim politicians. The politicians is liars. They have no rules. Yeah, they have no rules. They have no religion.
It doesn't matter.
Fucking liars.
Paul, the problem is we're dealing with like a fundamental issue. And I don't mean this in an insulting way, Paul, but this is like a type of ignorance of Islam. You see, the Messenger of Allah, peace be upon him, he had peace treaties with the Jewish. He had peace treaty sometimes with the pagans. You know, he used to trade with the Jewish people, like when he, would get shields and weapons from them, to fight the pagans and whatnot. So we have an example from the Prophet, peace be upon him, that you can actually have peace treaties with people who you are hostile with. You
Do
can
you
trade with them. You can do business with them. There's no problem with this. It's just a matter of
Also,
studying Islam properly. What's
do you
happened is
think
you're getting segments of Islam, and then you're matching it with modern geopolitics, and and the important parts of Islam that make this clear to you, you're missing entirely.
so? Do you
also
think
another thing, also another thing,
Muhammad
Paul.
would
Just
have? Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear. Just one more thing.
Let me just ask a question. Do you think
Hmm.
Muhammad would have a peace treaty with China today, or with Israel?
Allahu
It's hard to
Ta'ala.
be
You got to ask
predictable.
the ulama that.
Yeah.
I can't.
Although
I can't jump in
the
that
thing
one.
is, you are one important regarding the since you brought up the fighting, the imperative to fight these people in Islam. You are allowed to fight only if you have the ability. Right now, no Muslim country has the ability to fight any of these big powers. So, okay, not Saudi Arabia, not Egypt, not Turkey. Whoever raises the weapon will themselves face economic sanctions, military sanctions, like change of regime, etc., etc. So they need to protect their own populations. Just to protect, now we have concern for Palestinians and Uyghurs, but we can't sacrifice the rest of the ummah for them. It may sound selfish and self-centric, but
Yeah.
that's the reality.
You're
One
confusing the
last
Muslim
sentence,
state
guys.
with the Muslim states of today. The Muslim state
Yeah.
would be like under a khalifa, one ruler, which we don't have. You're confusing Muslim states of today, which are predominantly Muslim countries that have rulers that have a mix between like Islam and modern Western politics and sort of something
Okay, I'm
else
going.
thrown in.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Goodbye, man.
So
There was
can't
another
just
thing,
leave here.
Paul. There was another thing to add on to Shakil's point is that I'll just clarify one thing. You said countries representing Islam. Iraq does not represent Islam because Saddam Hussein was a communist. Every communist is a disbeliever. It's just how it is, right? You can't, because a communist hates all religions anyway.
It is not easy to say that. It is
So-
not easy to say that.
It was the ruling of
Because
some of the ulama.
the last sentence, no. Even the scholars have two opinion on Saddam, and a lot of the majority of them say he was Muslim. The last sentence was he was saying before he got hanged, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, and he got hanged. So you can't say he's kafir.
Okay, he believed in communist values. Then he believed in communist values.
Yeah, but you
I'll stop
cannot
there.
take him out of the religion.
No,
Okay, be
okay, fine. I
careful.
take that back. Maybe I missed the part, as you said. He said the shahada. Maybe I missed that part when I was young when I saw the video of that thing occurring, all the stuff that happened back then, right? And another thing is, you said the imperative to fight. Just because you're passionate about your religion doesn't mean the immediate solution to your enemy is spilling blood. There's wisdom behind how you handle other nation states and leaders. If this is way over the heads of people like us living in our central heated homes in comfortable places in the West with supermarket access. You press a button, you get delivery of whatever you want. This is way beyond our pay grade. And if you're coming in here speaking about our religion when you're from outside it, as if you know better than us about it, then that would be a slight against us and our scholars even more. Forget us, we're nobodies. But the scholars and the people who have to deal with serious issues that affect the Muslims
I think
requires
you're
wisdom and
oversimplifying.
research, then you have to slow down on that aspect.
Yeah,
right?
I think you're
It's just
oversimplifying the situation and confusing some, Paul. I mean, and this is not an attack on you. This is not
being
but, like,
passionate
there's
does
a
not
lot
mean being
more at play
violent, you
here
see.
than this black and white, because you are very much presenting a black and white picture, and it's very much not a black and white picture. It really is not.
It is more
And
complex.
Shaq said it right. It's beyond our pay grade to top it off.
Let me say one last sentence before we jump out of politics. Do not confuse the Islamic rule with the politician actions, because politicians have no religion, have no value. They will go with their interest. They will be lying. They will be doing whatever it takes for them to get their benefits. Do not confuse this political's action with the Islamic rules and values. You got me? Even if the politician was a Muslim, he's not following really Islamic values. When he do lies on people, he's just following his interest. So do not confuse them. That's very confusing. You got me, Paul?
Oops.
Yep. Well, that's what I started by saying. I wasn't. That's the first sentence I actually said. I don't have a negative opinion of Islam. I have a negative opinion of leaders in the Islamic world.
Yeah, that's
That's what I
okay.
said.
We have,
That's
or
what I
we have
said.
also, we all have that in common.
So
We do not agree
so
with what they are doing.
after that, like I was saying, well, there something doesn't match between the principles that I understand that are laid out by the religion and their action. They're contrary, they're opposite, and it's like it's not highlighted enough, and it's caused a lot of deaths and destruction and like
Paul,
and
do you
that's
know
what I was
why? Do you
highlighting.
know why all these deaths have occurred? It's because people don't know Islam. They attach themselves socially to Islam because that's what they were born or raised with, but they don't have actual tangible knowledge of it. They don't know the text. They don't know the Quranic ayat. They don't know the hadith. They don't know the principles that the companions and their followers held. They just say, we're Muslim. We know these few words that we say from birth, and that's it. That's as
Yeah,
far as most people's Islam goes anyway. That's why our sins are a result of lack of knowledge and lack of execution of that knowledge, which leads to the enemies of Islam coming on top of us and harming us.
I mean,
Right?
Samad, you said Abu-American, you can't compare the Jews of the past to Israel today. No, actually, you can. The enemies of Islam are the enemies of Islam. The enemies of Islam in the past, what makes them different now? They
they're
hate us
not
because of Islam, right?
yeah,
And so
they are
even
not the
though
enemies
they've dealt
because
with
of
them,
their religion.
yeah,
That's have to be clear. Not because of their religion, because of their action.
yeah. But the simple fact of the matter is they were hostile toward the Muslims and probably more hostile back then than now because the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was alive and they tried to kill him. And he's not alive in our time. And so we have to also look at it like this. They were more hostile back then than they are now. Do you see what I'm saying? That's not to say that if the Messenger of Allah, peace be upon him, was alive right now, they wouldn't try and kill him. They probably would. But we have to look at what we're dealing with right now. So yes, you can absolutely compare the two to the past. That's why when the statement that you can eat the meat of Ahlul Kitab, that it still stands to this day. The ulama have said there's no difference. He said between the Christians and the Jews of the past and the Christians and the Jews now. He says because back then they were considered misguided and now they're considered misguided. They were just Ahlul Kitab. That's why their meat is still permissible. This is the hikmah of Allah. You see, this is a religion for all ages. And if you want to go that route, also, you can't compare the Muslims today to Muslims back then. So, I mean, it's just kind of like, you know what I'm saying? We're not those people. They're not those people. But at the end of the day, alhamdulillah, we have the religion, and the religion doesn't change for the time. So we take the examples that we have and we use them. And the ulama have spoken on these matters. Abu Khadija, he did a nice little article here. The brother put it in the chat section. I posted it up a couple times. Read it, inshallah, and you'll see. Inshallah. So yes, you can absolutely compare them to the same people. What's different between them now? They've always worshipped a different God. They've always not followed our prophet. They've always hated us. Nothing has changed. They just now they have power and they're doing what they would have done in the past. And actually, it's not even really that they're not doing what they wouldn't have done in the past. In the past, when the army of the Muslims went to fight, I think it was it Uhud? Was it Uhud when the Muslims went out and then the Jews came and they attacked the women and the children and the old folks that were left behind because they thought the Muslims were going to lose the battle? Tell me that's not a comparative for Palestine right now. When they were weak, the Yahud attacked the Muslim women, children, and old folks that were left behind because they thought the Muslim army was going to get decimated and not come back. How are they different? We know what these people do. We understand their manhaj. It has never changed. The manhaj of these people has always been consistent throughout history. Attack us when we're weak, hate us constantly consistent, always speak out against us. They're the same people. Nothing has changed. Other than we have social media now to spread what they're doing.
We have to differentiate like a Zionist of the regular Jew or the Orthodox Jew, for example. The Orthodox Jew in Europe and United States, they are protesting against Israeli existence, and they are pro peace with all Muslims around the world, and they're asking the Zionist leader to be out of Palestine. So this type of Jew, like because of their religion, we do not hate them because of their religion, but because of, for example, the Zionist actions of taking a Muslim land. Yeah, they are our enemy. So they are not our enemy by religion itself. They are our enemy by their action. So I do not not every single Jew in the world is my enemy. Actually,
I have a question for you, Abuamerican, and
Sure.
it's
If I can answer it.
you don't have to answer it, but like is there any personal conflict. Like, okay, when you look at the foreign policy of the United States, you will see that a lot of it is driven by Israel, and that they have a lot of influence on
Absolutely.
what the decisions are
Powerful
going.
lobby.
Yeah, we know. I guess you know about APAC.
Oh yeah,
You know
absolutely.
about the project for the 21st American century, the neocons. So you see that they have a lot of weight on the American foreign policy.
Yes.
How like how is it to have been a Muslim and to know that you've worked for those goals in the United States Army? You don't have to answer, obviously, because it's very personal. But
This goes back to what I was saying. I became Muslim when during the first Gulf War. Was it the first Gulf War? Yeah, the first Gulf War. And the
In
United States
90s.
had yeah. And the United States had a very large military presence in Saudi Arabia, and something like a quarter of a million U.S. troops accepted Islam while in Saudi Arabia. It was
MashaAllah.
unbelievable. And here's the thing: 70% of those reverts were like women. So it tells you how many women were actually there, and it tells you how many soldiers actually became Muslim. Because I think at the time we were at our peak as something like a 3 million man fighting force, and we had a lot of troops over there. The United States has a long-standing history of alliances that are on surface contradictory. Like I said, the United States are very strong. I'm not even small. I'm saying very strong allies with Saudi Arabia. They're very strong allies with Bahrain. The home of the United States, I think it's the Fifth Fleet. Its home is Bahrain. Understand this. The home of the United States Fifth Fleet is Bahrain. It's not San Diego. It's not Florida. It's Bahrain. That's their home. 1 second. Got to deal with these like stupid porn chat people again. So, yes, they have conflicting alliances, conflicting interests. And so when you're in that military, yes, you can be put in a situation. And this is one of the reasons why I left, is that because sorry, I'm just getting all these webcam spammers again, so it just kind of threw me off. So yes, it is kind of problematic. We asked several scholars about it, and you can find actually in that article that the brother posted in the chat, it talks about these types of things inside of there. As for me, I mean, I found that the conflict was kind of like it's kind of problematic because although I wasn't directly involved in action against Muslim states, I could see to where I could potentially end up in action against Muslim states. You see? And so I was like, I don't want to be in that position. Because when the United States decides you're a bad guy, that's it, man. You go to war, and you're a soldier first. You don't get to say no. You don't get to say no. Conscientious objector. They're like, no, you signed up to hold a weapon and shoot people. And if we say shoot that person, you shoot that person. So I left. I don't encourage Muslims to join the militaries. My son is actually in the military. It was his personal choice. But then it's also a family tradition. And just going into a little personal history here. This is like off topic entirely. Our Black Americans came from a world of slavery, and we were escaped slaves. We were people, we didn't stick around for slavery. We're like, screw y'all, we're gonna fight, we're gonna get out of here. We escaped. That's my family. And then we decided at that point that every generation, someone has to fight. Someone has to be military active duty service to be able to help teach other family members how to fight and defend against ever ending up in slavery again. And it's been like that since we were freed people. Now my son's serving. So it serves a purpose for us to be in the military. Whether Muslims want to accept that's viable or not, that's a different story. But for me, I want my children to have military training. I want them to be able to teach our family how to fight. I'm very big on instilling the fighting spirit and mentality in our family because, there's nothing that says we can't be slaves again. All it takes is the power to go off 1 week. And then you're going to see Lord of the Flies out here.
Abuamerican.
We saw it with toilet paper. People were fighting grandmas for toilet paper. So
Abuamerican, let's jump out of this and give a comment about the script of this advertising in the chat that he was deleting. He's saying, here girls want everyone, even you. The script, really, who designed this marketing script is really targeting the miserable blue-pilled beta guys.
Yep.
Even you, do you know what the translation of this? Even you, miserable loser, even those girls need someone like you. They really want someone like you. Even you.
You loser.
Really, it makes me like laugh. Really, they want
You
everyone,
loser.
even you.
We got so many women here that we could just throw them. Even at you, you lame, you pathetic loser. Look at you. Ugh. She'll take you. Yeah. Mashallah, mashallah, mashallah.
Well, I don't know. Do you guys like debates?
I'm not much. I don't like debates. I'm good at debates, but I don't really like them.
Not
I
not
see it
not
serves no
debates,
purpose.
but like friendly conversation. We don't have to like be at each
No,
other's
I don't mind
throat.
conversations. Obviously, I've been going back
Yeah,
and forth
yeah.
with you. I don't mind.
But like
But
I,
debates.
I have some reservations about like this whole red pill approach to life, and I was
Oh,
hoping
let's
to
hear it.
discuss. It's not like it doesn't have to be a like a
What do
debate
you
at
wish to
all.
inquire about, Paul?
Did you read like
So
their literature, Paul? Did you read their books? Did you listen to what they're saying?
I've I have to say I have not. I have watched a lot of videos of Rollo Tomasi and
Roll
you
Thomas is
know
heavy.
yeah and I just like I have to admit like I'm not a big reader. I consume a lot by watching videos,
Listening?
documentaries and stuff like that, right?
Do you have
So
audiobooks?
audiobooks, yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. All
Um
of their books is on Kindle, like you can listen to them.
okay, cool. Yeah, I'll definitely watch. But so my my first point would be that it's oversimplifying the world sometimes. Alphas and betas, Stacy's and Becky's, Chads and Tyrones. Those like archetypes are so oversimplified.
Yeah, but
And
you're scratching the surface here, Paul.
right,
You did not really read the literature. They go
Paul.
deep down in the human psychology and
Mm.
behavioral analysis. You're barely scratching the surface.
But let me ask you, Paul. Are they inaccurate?
I,
No, you
I
say
I
it's
think
oversimplified, but do you think they're inaccurate?
I think that's the wrong question to ask. Is
Okay. What's the
uh,
right question? Because it's a
is
very
is
important
that like
question.
can they really help you understand the world? And they
Yes,
they don't.
I
They
think they do.
don't. They only cover a small portion. So they do those archetypes do exist. But like okay, so maybe sometimes they might be an average. If you average, like the whole society out, you'll get like some of these archetypes, but like what does an
Yeah.
average tell you about a human being, right? um and this is I'll give you an analogy, and this is why coming back to what the other guy was saying earlier, there's a lot of people that use the IQ test to say, well, that's intelligence, right?
Mhm.
It is
And
types of intelligence.
I have to recuse that. Like, how can you resume intelligence down to a number? How can you like test uh intelligence based on these skewed defining tests? Now they might help you, infer something about a person in certain types of scenarios, right? But they don't tell you what intelligence really is,
It depends
right?
Okay.
on what types of intelligence you're talking about. Do you know that the
Yeah.
IQ is the most reliable among scholars and governments around the world? It's the most reliable test, even for
Mhm.
the US military. So it is not reliable
Right.
from nothing. It is not reliable
Okay.
from
So
like
if
by
if
chance.
so if we do follow the conclusions of that, then and you put an IQ map on the world, right? And then
Mhm.
you see that like in Africa, you have an average of 60, somewhere
68,
it
I
goes
think it
in
is.
70s and somewhere in the 90s. Like, you kind of validate like it's a way with those types of conclusion you can validate the fact that well, it's normal for Europeans to be on top of the world and to dominate. Look, they have the highest IQ, so
Do,
they should
do you
dominate.
think everyone should be equal in IQ?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying
I have an
there's
opinion on
other
this, a very strong one.
factors. There's other
First off,
factors, but to
what I
come
like to
back,
look at. what I like to look at.
come back to the conversation, because I'm sliding off. You can't resume a human being to a few statistics, right?
I think
That's
we
the
can.
first point I want to make.
Let me address the IQ thing first, though. Let me before
Yeah,
we go any
go
further.
ahead.
Let me go into IQ. So when we look at IQ, there's a book out there that's called The Bell Curve, and this book's highly controversial because they said the author used it to justify racism and racist ideas in regards to ethnic minorities, aka non-whites. But the problem is the book is very well written and it's very well researched. And one thing I like to do in moving away from all of this is I like to look at outcomes and results. So when we start looking at the outcomes and results of nations and countries, we see a particular pattern where there's a correlation between the outcomes of those nations and the registered IQ of those nations. Now, obviously, we have to look at other factors: interference, external interference, geopolitical problems, issues, whatever else. Africa has a lot of interference going on. But one thing we've noticed also about Africa is what do we call brain drain. So those with the highest IQ are always recruited outside of Africa to other nations, usually Western European nations. So what does this mean? This means that the overall IQ of Western nations continues to increase because they absorb the brightest minds that they can find around the world, which leaves the village idiot to run the village. And so the outcomes of the village are the outcomes of being run by a village idiot, which are probably pretty stupid. You see what I'm saying? So we have to look at multiple problems here. It's yes, IQ is real. I absolutely believe it's real. Now, do I believe that certain ethnicities and races don't have, an IQ, whatever else problem? Yes and no. Because we also tend to find that people with higher IQs tend to match with people with higher IQs, irrespective of ethnicity. So then if you have an African who's left Africa, he's a doctor, and he goes to Europe and he finds another doctor and he marries a doctor who happens to be a white European and they have mixed kids, the chances are that, the chances of having another black child that is African are very low, because a white European and a black African with high IQ are not going to create a black African child. They're going to create a mixed child with potentially very high IQ, which is going to continue the trend of high IQ in that particular family and in that particular nation that they live in, which is most likely not Africa. You see what I'm saying? So now you have a bunch of lower IQ people not reproducing with higher IQ people and lowering the overall IQ of the nations that they're from. So yes, there is a problem here. But the problem is, again, we can't black and white it. It's sort of like the Islamic conversation. We're looking at like a bigger picture here. So now Africa's getting double hit. They're getting interfered geopolitically. They're not catching a break. And then to top it off, their brightest minds are getting sucked up from everywhere around the world. And then to top it off, we find that these high IQ nations are more liberal in their immigration policy than nations that have lower IQs. If you look at the immigration policies of a lot of these lower IQ nations, on paper IQ nations, they are very restrictive on who they allow into their country, including high IQ in people, doctors, engineers, whatever else. They're just not trying to let foreigners in. And those foreigners could potentially come in the country, meet a high IQ local, and then have a high IQ local child, which is going to overall increase the IQ of the nation. You see what I'm saying? So it's a multifaceted problem. IQ is absolutely a real thing. And we see this in the outcomes. Outcomes say everything.
Let me add for this. IQ is an objective metric. You can apply it of testing the logical, mathematical, spatial intelligence and the analysis abilities, the analysis intellectual abilities.
Tad, just hit you,
so
man.
it is objective metrics. So if you don't like the outcome or the result of this type of metric, you cannot dismiss the test itself. If
what
you
about
don't like
emotional intelligence?
Emotional intelligence is something else. But it is not productive. It is not productive as and efficient for human success as the logical mathematical intelligence.
It's a very materialistic way to view humans.
But that's how we operate, unfortunately.
So to you, the value of a human being is based on what they produce.
Of course.
That's most important, though.
So you're producing nothing, but you have all the love in your heart for all people. Are you going to elevate in the social hierarchy? No,
that doesn't heat your house in the winter.
Nobody gives a shit about your emotion.
Yeah, that doesn't heat your house in the winter. That takes an engineering mind.
Like when the Europeans invaded and dominated and took over the lands of other peoples,
Mhm.
that's exactly what they said. That is exactly the mindset that they had.
And the outcome support it.
This
This is
that
why I
means
look at outcomes, because the outcomes support it. Now, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying it's correct. But what
so
happened? We had environmental pressures. When we look at like IQ, we have to look at environmental pressures. So Europeans in general, the environmental pressures were we have highly competitive, highly aggressive neighbors. They fought each other. Germans, people don't notice, Germans killed 50 million, 51 million of each other in their reunification / religion wars. So they had highly aggressive, highly competitive, highly intelligent opponents. So that means there was no room for you to be the village idiot or to have a village full of idiots. And even if you were in a village of smart people, if your village did not have competitive pressures around it, and we have an examples from the animal kingdom. A lot of people don't like to use this, but we have look at the difference between bonobo monkeys and chimpanzees. Technically, they are the same species. But bonobos are much smaller. They're less aggressive than chimpanzees. Chimpanzees come from tribes that are warring, and chimpanzees are amongst the highest IQ of primates that there are. Why? Because they come from a highly aggressive environment where they have to be competitive and they have to be combative. If chimpanzees ran into bonobos, bonobos would be gone tomorrow. But just because of geographical separation and protection, they are not. So what we found is a highly competitive group of people who come from a very, very rough environment, aka Europe, where it's very hard to survive the winters, the very long winters, where food and resources are scarce except for maybe wood. And you had competing people. They absolutely had to be smart. You had to outsmart your opponent because outmuscling him wasn't really that much of an option. So you had to be smarter than him. Now they came to an environment, Africa, Asia, all these other places. They have high resources. Competition is there, but it's not an absolute survivability necessity like it is in Europe. And obviously they weren't as developed as Europeans in combat and war because they didn't need to be. So that doesn't mean that those people are less intelligent. They just had less of a need to develop their skills in combat and war and advanced warfare. So if obviously you came across a bunch of people, they're highly intelligent, but they got spears and you're over here with your AK-47, you're not going to know they're intelligent because you want their stuff. And you're going to gun them down. And it's like, oh, that guy looked like he was pretty smart. Bow. You see what I'm saying? So outcomes are everything. Your intelligence doesn't matter if your outcomes don't support victory and success in the end.
Yeah, I'll add to that. Like, why do you think the United States collected all the scientists of the Nazis with the paperclip operation? They collected all of them, including the next head of NASA, which is Brown. Why do you think they was collecting this sharp intellectual people after the war? Because of their
sounds
emotion?
it does sound like you guys
The bonobos are beta.
are lauding and praising the oppressors of this earth and the ruling
No,
oligarchies of this earth. You're like, okay,
I'm just a
great.
realist.
Well, all right. Well,
I'm just a
Paul,
Rothschild.
realist.
Paul, stop there for a
Wait,
sec.
wait.
Stop there,
Let
mate.
me just finish with this. Oh, the Rothschilds have an IQ of 270, so it's okay for them to foment
It was not
wars and
based on IQ. Look. You're looking at it, it is flipped in your mind. They was not looking for people because they have IQ. They study.
There's feedback coming from somebody.
Guys, we have. Please, can you mute your mic? Yeah. They are not looking about. They're not looking for scientists because they have IQ. They studied like the psychologist and the neurologist. They studied the hyper successful and productive human being, and the result of these studies, they have high IQ. You got me? But it is flipped in your mind. So what do you do with this IQ? It's up to you. You can be bad, you can be good. You can design something to kill people, you can design something to help people. What do you
exactly.
do with this level of IQ?
That's where emotional intelligence comes into play, right?
No.
No. So
No.
No,
okay.
Taj said it right here, and I said it too. We never said anything is okay. It's just this is how the world operates. I'm looking at outcomes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying it's outcomes.
No, but
Sometimes
okay,
I compete
I'm
and I don't win. Sometimes I compete and I do. And I have
trying
to
to
be
make a
real
case
about why.
for emotional intelligence, meaning when you have like a highly efficient tool or machine that you've built, are you
Okay.
going to use it for good
I have an answer.
are you gonna use it to bring down other people and take their resources or whatever, or are you gonna use it to build something so that we all
I have
can
an answer.
we
So
all
now,
can live together, and that, like some people like have less of, maybe they have maybe high mathematical skills, but
mhm.
don't have the emotional intelligence to see that like when they spread all that, the I
Does
don't
not
know.
predict success, Paul. That's it.
Okay. I have a very clear answer. You can research this. So look up when you get the opportunity the letter R/K, the letter K selection theory. R/K selection theory. So now what is R/K selection theory? R/K selection theory says that amongst mammalian species, there's two types of basically strategies or behaviors. R strategies is basically they're less intense, less intelligence focused, and K is they have a high in group. Actually, I'm oversimplifying. Let's just say there's two strategies. K selected people, they have a very strong in group preference. What does that mean? They prefer their tribe over all else. So this is not to say they don't have emotional intelligence. Maybe these people do, but they only have it for their people. This is what R/K selection theory talks about, that in-group preference is a thing. And I don't think there's a problem with that. The problem is a lot of times people get upset, and I think I can agree with you on this particular part, Paul, and stop me if I'm wrong. We are people of color in Europe. Europeans have a very strong in-group preference for themselves. We do not fit inside that strong in-group preference. And so it makes us feel some kind of way when we're excluded from that, because those people have a benefit in their societies amongst one another that we're not included in. This is why I tell people find your tribe, because
Yeah,
if
no,
you
but
don't have a tribe,
to me, the and this is where my point is that, like, this, I wouldn't even pin it on the European people, but there
I'm just using
is
an example
like
because we're both in
European
Europe.
oligarchy that has taken over the world, the globalists, what you might call it today, and that are
Paul, one
reaping
question: Are you
havoc and
Marxist?
destruction. Sorry?
Are you Marxist?
No, I'm not. I'm not a Marxist. No.
Okay. I got a different question for you, Paul. I'm gonna flip the script here. I'm gonna agree with you. I'm just gonna go with you. I'm disagreeing, but I'm gonna agree with you. So now in this conversation, what is our solution?
To unite on a, like, if the people unite against that oligarchy, they have no chance. But that what they're really successful at is dividing us to different lines and finding ways, like, getting, like, the Muslim to fight the common man. That's one of the regulars, right? I guess maybe one of the ways they have done, especially in Europe, is by bringing multicultural society, which is multi-conflictual, and that makes them uh be in the background, right, while they see us fighting each other over, like, okay, well, you have, like, guys fighting girls, feminism, red
Okay.
pill, right? You have all these levels of separation where we're arguing and getting at each other, where the problem is looking up and uniting
Okay.
and looking up and
So let me ask you a
fight the
question then.
people. Yeah.
Based off of what you just described, the world should turn into Japan, which is a very homogenous society, which is very anti-foreigner, which they are, that leads to a homogenous society and so societal cohesion. Is that the solution? And it's a patriarchal one at that.
That would be one solution, but it's practically impossible because of the rules of the
Works in
liberal
Japan, China,
the
Russia,
liberal economy, that structure that's imposed,
Hungary.
especially on Africa, right? Africa, they give you a loan, you can't pay back the loan, and they tell you, okay, well, now you have to open up your economy, you have to sell this, you have to sell that, you have to let these types of people in, you have to let these types of people in,
But
foreign
Paul,
people come.
you've come full circle. This goes back to what I was saying about intelligence and national outcomes. So now the village is being run by the idiot, and he takes a bad deal on a loan. So we have so many problems that I don't think they're like easily solvable. There's no way it's solvable, because now the village idiot said, hey, you know what? That looks like a good deal. It's obviously a bad deal. You can spot that. Why can't that leader spot it? Why? Because he's corrupt. He's low IQ, and his parents are low IQ because his great ancestors went to Europe to make a better living as a doctor. Do you see what I'm saying? So now we have to look at the outcomes. Remember, we were talking about IQ. This now comes into IQ. Why are they making bad decisions when I could become a national leader, and I could probably Google what the right answers are in running my nation better than these guys are out here doing it right now? I could probably, you know what? Hold on, China. Let me see if this is a good idea. Give me a half hour, come back. Do you see what I'm saying? So now we have to accept then that IQ is a thing. We have to, because why are they in the age of information where you can be a village idiot who knows how to use the internet, and I'm sure they have internet, and get the right answers, but these guys aren't getting the right answers. So we have issues of ethics and morals. They're taking corrupt deals. We have issues of intelligence, not thinking long term for your entire nation. We got a lot of issues here, Paul.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's the thing, though. That's where I would dispute. Maybe like on the ethics and moral side, we're not willing to go as far as so-called higher IQ people. We're not
morals and intellectual capabilities is two different things. And by the way, like let me put it straight for you, Paul. If you believe in IQ or you do not believe in IQ, that will never change anything in the world. It will still the most reliable intellectual and intelligence test among the whole world, and among the all of the scientists of the world.
I'm not.
It won't improve your own IQ either, bro. That's the reality. So
I'm not disputing that IQ is
it seems that you're disagreeing with it simply because you think it comes from the Rothschilds. That's not a basis to disagree with something.
I never said that. No, I'm not disputing that IQ is a metric that helps you to like see something about a person, or like test something about a person. I'm questioning the fact that we call that intelligence, when I think intelligence is encompassing a whole lot of sets and attributes, and what makes a person intelligent within the social structure has a lot more to do with how they're going to do. Like, I know high IQ people. I know like really high IQ people. They're fucking weirdo. Oh, sorry about the cursing. They're weirdos.
Yeah.
They don't.
Absolutely.
They don't know how to come and talk to a girl. They don't know how to come and be in a social context and be comfortable and
But his financial life is in order.
So what he's supposed to be intelligent, right? Okay, well, probably he can calculate something faster than me, right? But then you put him in a group, he's a total weirdo and he's an outcast, right? So so I'm just saying, okay, that's one example, and I can go on and on about how intelligence.
But I have an answer for you.
Defined,
because now everything you're talking about can be brought back to the context of the very start of our conversation, way back before we even got into this conversation. So now we have highly intelligent people who have no moral or emotional intelligence, excuse me. So they don't have emotional intelligence, right? So now comes into play what? A religion. I'm going to use Islam, but so use Christianity if that's your thing. This teaches people and enforces boundaries upon people. So now, okay, you have the intelligence to get what you want, but now you have religion stopping you from getting it just how anyway, khali wali, harming people left and right. I know how to get women, but Islam prevents me from just going out and banging every sister that I can chat up, right? Because I follow the rules of Islam. And if you don't follow those rules, there's punishment. You see? So now let's say if I was ethically and morally corrupt, I had no emotional intelligence, nothing. Let's just say I was one of those corrupt people and I just said, hey, I learned game. I'm going to go get these sisters. Islam stops a person from being that person, because now I have to stop and think with my intelligence, what's more important, getting the sisters or getting stoned to death? So now we come back full circle to your conversation and we connect the two. Do you see what I'm saying? There has to be a unification of the two. You have to have this. And that's why there are no successful societies anywhere in the world that was not based upon a patriarchal religion at some point. Do you see what I'm saying?
And by the way, like Paul, you have to understand that IQ is one dimension of that can predict success. there is others. Like if you like, I don't know if you're familiar with the big five personality traits analysis. This is very
Yeah.
familiar. Yeah, the
Yeah.
personality. The,
I heard it from Jordan
the
Peterson.
yeah, the low neuroticism, the low agreeableness, and the high conscientiousness is a great predictor of success. Also, like you put the IQ aside, you have other things that predict success also, which is the low neuroticism, the low agreeableness, and the high conscientiousness. These three personality traits predict success also. You can add for it another things, but what I mentioned from these three personality trait and the IQ together, they predict success for person in life. Now, what he want to do with this like capabilities, it is based on his morality ground, which is referred to religion, or you can refer it by yourself for something else. That's it.
Hey guys, we're up on 2 hours and 30 minutes almost, guys. This is the longest I ever did. I'd like to keep on going. I'm enjoying the heck out of this conversation. Actually, this is something I might do every Saturday. Just open up the show to people to come on and we just cut it up
Yeah,
on
sure.
whatever.
That's
Talk about
interesting.
whatever. I think I'll do this every Saturday, actually, inshallah. So when do I go live? I usually have a schedule, but anyway, guys, we'll do this every Saturday. We'll just open up the forums as long as you're willing to come on, bring your camera up or whatever else, so we can block out the trolls. I'm willing to do this every weekend, but it's like 2 hours and 30 minutes, man. And so, I got to get back to life over here. I got to go to the bathroom to top it off. Thanks for coming on, guys. Just don't forget, soon.
Thank you for having us.
The date's not set, but it is going to happen. Me, Coach Kareem, Matthew Tijani, Rolla Tomasi, Rich Cooper, Daniel Hakikatu, and MLD John. We're going to be over here discussing, Islam, feminism, the future of Islam. Can we fight the gynocracy and all these types of things and what's going to happen? Guys, thanks for tuning in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Paul, thanks for the very interesting conversation and back and forth. It was good to have you on. And thanks, guys, for showing up to the panel.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Bye.
Later, guys.
Goodbye.